Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to the Age of Adventure RPG. I am GM Age, and today we are playing the Cursed Farm. This is an introductory scenario, actually for the Age of Vikings role-playing game by Chaosium, which I have converted to the Age of Adventure RPG system. And this game is part of TTRPG Pickup Con, which is a free online monthly convention that's awesome, and I'll put the link to that in the description. If you're watching, we do have live chat, and today we have 3 players playing, and I will do an introduction to the adventure, and then I'll get each of the players to introduce themselves. There actually is a 4th person that has signed up who may turn up during the adventure, and if so, we will pop their character in. So, with that said, the adventurers are all part of a guild of adventurers. So they get paid for completing work for the guild, and the guild gets hired by, the helpless and the those needing help in this world. So you don't have to worry about getting paid or obtaining gold and silver, because that's covered with this assignment. So you've been hired to look into the matter of some suspicious events occurring at a farmstead. Now this is set in we'll say it's a section of the world that you haven't been in before, because I've converted the module. It sort of has a Norse sort of theme. If you've got the ambience on, that's the sort of feel we're going for. So with that, let's introduce our players. I'll go from top to bottom. You can just give us a brief introduction about you if you want to, or basically just your character. Let's start with Flamma Bell.
Yeah, so name is Casper. I'll be playing Flamma Bell, the small but kind of let's just say pyromaniac, the goblin wizard, who life goal is to really go over and burn things and make things explode, because she really likes doing that for some reason. But yeah, this is gonna be my 4th adventure with her, and it's gonna be a great time, really. But yeah, just here with Flamma, who hopefully will at least be useful and not burn too many things.
And it's probably apt that perhaps you've already been here, hence the picture of a burning barn. There you go. Well, that could be prophetic. Maybe. Anyway, the next down the line we have Fiona.
Okay, so Fiona is an Orc Rogue. She is master of in the lock and things like that. She is experienced adventurer. She has been on a couple of adventures with the guild. She has her companion, his name is Snotgard, she's a dwarf, and he is actually in the zoo. They met during the lifetime achievement of Fiona. She won the decision, and she is officially named Miss Oxford, which makes her, that's quite a bit known to the general public. Snotgard is in the zoo, and he is, generally in charge of her good looks. When you look at the Fiona, you would think, oh my god, she's so beautiful for a Norse. That's pretty much it for her. Thank
Beautiful.
You.
And yes, Fiona, the player, is very dedicated and actually traveling on the way home. So if the audio is a little bit distant, that's it. But while and actually this is for all of you, while you're speaking, and you can all look at each other's characters, but I've been sharing some of the images that we have. So as per previous adventures, everyone can look at everyone else's character, just don't edit anything, obviously. Last but not least, Snotgard.
Snotgard is a goblin barbarian, but he's not that furious. He just like to have a lot of shinies. So he's just like a shiny hunter. He could take any work if it is well paid. And he is small, he is green, he has not the best personality, but he has his friend. His name is Judging Tom. It's a giant iguana-like lizard. And sometimes people think that Judging Tom is the main character in their story. And that's about all about Snotgard and Judging Tom. And let's see who is really the main character.
Yes, Judging Tom has been the star previously. Sorry, just close the door there in case you were hearing some background noise. All right, so now another reminder to the players is that in the notes section there is a session notes field that you guys can, and I can use it as well, I suppose, if there's something I want to communicate. But you can actually type in notes as we go, and that'll build sort of the session notes for the adventure. And we also use turn order in this game, and the turn order is to help us, you know, control who has a turn so that everyone gets a fair amount of gameplay. I've already put your characters in the turn order, so why don't we start by rolling the turn order number, which is 6 dice. So if you go in the turn order, you can roll turn order, enter your number, and you can all do that yourselves, so I don't have to monitor it, and I'll just make sure that you do put numbers in. So why don't we all start with rolling turn order to work out who goes first, second, third, etc. I'll give you a chance to find that. So it's in notes, there's turn order, and then at the top of the turn order screen it says roll turn order 6D. Click that and then punch that number into the turn order tracker.
Oh no.
Here we go, here come all the dice rolls now. We'd start by Snotgard getting the bad rolls out. So Snotgard, you'd roll 13.26, and also remember, if you have a NPC or a companion, you also need to enter their total as well. So don't forget the first 2 decimal points after the number, which is the first 2 results of the dice roll. So for Caspar it'll be 28.16, for Fiona it'll be 18.52, and for Snotgard it'll be 13.26. You only have to roll once, Fiona, because your companion has the same score as you. So I'll ignore that second roll. So for you, 18.52 for you and Torgrim. Alright, let's see if everyone's punched those in. So Snotgard also enter in for Judging Tom, so you need to keep track of his turn order as well. And don't forget the 2 decimal points, 13.26, just in case there are ties. Which in this case doesn't look like there was, so doesn't really matter. So I'll update that, and I will introduce where we are. Okay, so the heroes have basically made their way to a rural community called Fjallholt's Crest, and what I'll do is I'll unhide that on the screen. So what I'm going to do is use this screen for everything, so that you don't have to keep putting your tokens back on. So yeah, if you can move your tokens onto the screen, and as a reminder how to do that, probably you only won't be able to do that if you're traveling. I'm not sure if you do it on your mobile, but what you do is you open up your character sheet, hover over your avatar, and that'll turn into a circle, and then you can drag that onto the screen. Oh, Fiona did do it. Oh, well done. Your NPCs, there also is a token if you want to use their token or an image that's built under their tab. So Fiona, you'll have one for Torgrim under Torgrim's tab. Okay, so I'll put the name of Fjallholt's Crest in the session notes, because there's a lot of Norse sort of, not references, but spelling, I guess. And yeah, I apologize if I bastardize any of the Norse or sort of pronunciation. But anyway, Fjallholt's Crest. So you arrive at the rural community. Oh, actually, I forgot the most fun thing I like before we start. We're going to do a bit of a setup to see how long it took to get there, the time of day and the weather. So everyone just roll D6, and then I'll go top to bottom and just set up the scene. So everyone can just roll a D6. And then I'll quickly tell you the travel time, etc. And I'll also put that into the session notes. So we're going to have, it takes 3 days travel, first roll, second roll is a 2, arriving morning, so that's good. And last roll is 5, and the 5 is, it is raining. Oh, that's something we don't get very often. Raining. All right, so I'll put that in the session notes. So with that as a bit of a background, after 3 days of travel, you arrive in the rainy rural community of Fjallholt's Crest. It is morning, but most people are either under shelter in their abodes, which I think I've got a picture. Yeah, I've shared that picture there of the rural community. They're either under shelter. You can smell the smell of breakfast. You know, animals also trying to get as out of the rain. It's quite heavy, so we'll say it is quite muddy as you meander into the community, into the area. Your contact there, you've been told, is a gentleman by the name of Sigmunda Gunnarsson. Gotta love these names. Maybe I should have simplified these names, but anyway, I'll paste his name in the chat as well. For some reason, some of them is going bold, so I don't know what I'm doing there, but anyway, why is some bold and some not? Bit weird. I have no idea, but anyway, maybe that's because it means it's important. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, and you've been told, so he basically, Sigmunda is a person who has contacted the guild saying that they have one of the farmsteads needs help, and he's your contact there who's basically you've been told to go and see. So after 3 days you arrive. So before we meet Sigmunda, and he's like the local lord of Fjallholt's Crest, you will need to do your resource management. So 3 days means that all of the heroes need to take off 3 provisions for 3 days, or 2 silver pieces per day, or you can do a combination. If you have a large creature, they require 2 provisions, like double per day. So I'll give you all a chance to do that, and then I'll ask you how you went.
Can Fiona try her, sleight of hand thingy to get away with less provisions?
Yeah, I didn't quite hear what you said, but you're using one of your skills, was it, or?
Well, Fiona is a rogue, so she normally can, try to keep them on the way.
I'm struggling to hear you. I don't know if it's my audio. Can anyone just...
It's probably me.
I heard that. I heard you say it's probably you. Did you want to use a skill, did you say?
Fiona is a rogue, so she can try and steal things on the way to lower the number of
steal. Yes, I did hear that. Yes, you can. Yes, all right. And actually, before we do that, geez, another thing I've forgotten. Okay, hero points. Everyone can either start with 4 hero points because you're a hero, or you can roll a d6 and add 1, but it is capped at 6. So let's do that before we do provisions. And yes, I did hear what you said, Fiona, now with the sneak, but let's just fix up hero points. Apologies, I'm jumping all over the place. So, Flamma, do you want 4 hero points, or you want to roll a d6? Add 1.
We'll do d6. Why not?
Okay. Yep, everyone else can also do the same. Either roll d6 or start with 4, and you can adjust your hero points accordingly.
Hey, go. 6 points. Let's go.
Beautiful. Wow. Jeez, you guys are blessed. So, Flamma starts with 6, because it's d6 plus 1. Also, Snotgard starts with 6. And... did you roll as well, Fiona? Did you roll the 6?
No, I would start with 4.
You start with 4. Okay, no problem at all. So if you start, what was that roll for?
Sorry, it's me. I'm doing her rolls because her notebook right here.
Oh, okay.
Besides me.
She wants to start with 4. So, all right. So Flammabelle has 6. Fiona, you can start with 5 because Snotgard rolled a 6, so you can have his bonus 1. So you can increase your hero points to 5. Are you able to adjust your character sheet, or do you need someone to do it for you? Do you want me to do it for you?
Oh, I can do it. I can do it for her.
Oh, you can do it for her? All right. Yeah. So you can have Fiona start with 5, no problem. And all right, now having said that, Fiona tries to steal some provisions on the way. So there's a merchant caravan that passes, and Fiona tries to steal some of the food that they have hanging from inside the wagon. So roll 2d6. You need 2 successes to be able to steal. A 3 and a 5, yes. So you can roll d6, and that's how many provisions you steal from the wagon. Someone can roll a d6 for... Oh, wow. All right, so it only costs you 2 provisions to travel because you can take the 3 off that. So Fiona... Oh, and plus, obviously, Torgrin needs to eat 3 provisions, so it's a net loss of 1. So Fiona, you can adjust those provisions for yourself. Flammabelle, did you use provisions or buy?
I use silver. So
Silver.
it looks like I don't have any provisions on my sheet right now.
Yep, nice.
So I'm using silver.
Good role playing. All right, beautiful. You're all, I can tell you've all played the characters of all adventures before because you're all loaded up with gold and silver. And what about you, Snotgard?
Snotgard is already deducted 1 gold piece to buy 2 provision for himself and 4 provisions for his friend dog.
4 provisions, so you need 2 provisions per day. It's 3 days for Tom.
Once again, so I completed wrong. I thought I need 6 provisions for myself and for Tom.
So it's was it 3 days travel? So 3 days travel means it would take 3 provisions for you, but remember Tom needs
3,
double.
okay.
Yeah, Tom needs double.
Yes, miscalculated.
That's okay. No problem. All right.
So, yep.
I'll bold that to make it a bit more clear.
Yep.
Beautiful. All right. So arriving at the Sigmunder's, actually I'll unhide him. So there's a picture of Sigmunder. You arrive at his at his home, and he's waiting for you. And he has a number of servants who look like they're just cleaning up after breakfast. And a few people call out that there's visitors for you, Sigmunder. And he comes to the door, and he's got a toothpick, picking his teeth from perhaps a meal that he's had. And he says, welcome, come inside, out of the rain. The gods have not been kind to you, my friends from the north. And you guys clearly know that this is a more of a human settlement. So it's unknown whether they've seen your kind before. And I'll let you decide how you deal with that as you go. He welcomes you in, so let's look at the turn order. And let us start with Flamma.
Flamma hates getting wet, so she is a bit more aggravated, but when she's heard to go over and come inside, she gladly will go over and come in and say, thank you. I hate the rain. It makes things not so much flammable. But how are you?
Yes. Yes, good, my little friend. Please welcome. Yes, the rain, it can be bad, but also good for the crops. As you can see, my village is very strong in crops. And the village does look very well maintained, very meticulous as you're walking through, like no broken fences, everything is lush. His house itself looks very neat and tidy. Nothing that stood out on the outside that it was like the local lord, but you can tell by his sort of fat size and the way he's dressed quite flamboyantly, that he seems to be more well off perhaps than others. And he says, welcome, what is your name, my friend?
It's Flamma Bell.
Oh, very well. He says, come in, Flamma Bell. And do you have any questions about what you are required to do to help me?
Well, yeah, your village looks pretty good. Good crop and all that good stuff. So I'm
Good.
curious and
Good crap.
what you need from us. Yeah, good crops.
Ah, crops.
Just a sample.
I thought you said good crap.
Oh, no.
Yes, we have strong crop here in Fjallholt.
Right. So, I guess you can give us a rundown of like what's happened to the village.
Oh, of course. It is not me. Oh, sorry. It is not our farm that needs help. I have a farmer by the name of Bjorg. Actually, I'll put her name in the chat. Where is Bjorg? Geez, I'm on fire here. Where is she? You would think I would have had all these things prepared. You would think, but never assume. I don't even have them in order. That's pretty bad. Okay, here we go. Found her. He tells you this. He doesn't hesitate like I am hesitating telling you this information. It comes straight off. I bet this is going to be in bold as well. Oh no, this one's all right. I've put it in the session notes. I have a farmer, one of my farmsteads as part of my lord's land. Her name is Bjorg Finsdeuter. She's the one that needs help, my friend, not me. He says, it is about 4 hours along the eastern road from here. If you follow the low hills, you cannot miss it. There have been reports that she is suffering greatly, but we do not know what is the cause. And so I have contacted the guild to deal with the problem. And as he says that,
Okay.
the next person rolls in. Who is the next person that rolls in? Fiona, with Torgrim in your stead, lifting up your... Do you wear a dress? I'm not sure. But anyway, trying to keep you out of the mud by perhaps putting some bits of wood in front of you as you walk so that you step on the wood and not the mud. As you enter, and he looks up to you, you know, first looking down at Flammabelle, and then he sees sort of the shadow, and he sort of looks up and says, oh yes, oh dear. What do you want to do?
Hello, I'm Fiona. This is Torgrim. Nice to meet you. She will hold her hand right in front of you, and she will, allow him to take it.
I think you said you're going to put your hand in front of you, and he looks around. He's a bit uncertain, and you can see all of his servants are sort of their mouths are agawk at these type of adventurers that have been called upon. But he seems uncertain. But he grabs your hand with two hands and sort of gives it a shake and says, "All are welcome when they come to help Fjallholt's Crest. I am Sigmunda, the local lord. What is your name? Fiona, you say?"
Yes, I am Fiona. I am a very experienced adventurer, and I'm here to help you. And Torgrim, my friend here, will give you that too.
He shakes Torgrim's hand as well, and Torgrim says, "I am pleased to meet you. Please do not be afraid at Fiona's beauty, or she is Miss Orcverse." He pronounces it loud and, you know, falls on deaf ears because it doesn't seem like anyone's heard of Miss Orcverse. But they look up Fiona and he says, "Look, all are welcome." And he beckons you in and says, "Your friend Flamma has already asked a question about the farm that needs help. Do you have any questions? Great skilled orc." if you told him you were an orc, or he can tell.
No, I think we'll just improvise. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. His servants pour some water and they put some like sweets and savoury mixed items from the farm that people are welcome to if they want. And as he gets that spread, and one of his eyes is looking at the servants at all times and making sure that they put the knife and fork at 90 or whatever you're supposed to do with proper etiquette, the way they lay the table. So he's keeping an eye on them as the last adventurer walks in, and that is Snotgard with Judging Tom. You're riding Judging Tom to his home, I believe.
Oh, yes. And first of all, Snotgard will ask, hello there, I need a good place for my friend Tom to rest a bit before we will save everything and we'll get our payment.
Oh, he says, yes, I am Sigmunda, the local lord. Please, I will get some of my stable hands to put your steed?
Tom. His name is Tom.
To put Tom under good care. You'll be leaving Tom here or taking Tom to Bjorn's farm?
I'm not taking him. We are going together. He's my partner. Just he is a little bit too big to enter most of houses.
Oh, I do appreciate. And you can see that it's a rural community, so the floor underfoot has dirty marks on it, and obviously your feet are quite muddy, but it doesn't seem like he seems concerned that you've walked in with mud. But he says, oh, of course, hello, Mr. Tom, he calls out, and Judging Tom sort of get a bit snappy because there's no sun, there's a lot of cloud, rain, and you see a few stable hands run to Tom a bit sheepishly, but Tom's temperament's pretty good, isn't it? What's Tom's temperament?
He is his love to relax on the sun, so he's a very lazy boy.
All right, he goes with the stable hands, and you see right next to Sigmunda's home, there's a small barn, and he goes in the barn where there's some pigs and chickens that he shares company with, and they sort of get him out of the rain. And Sigmunda welcomes you in. Welcome, Snotgard. Your friends have already asked some questions, and Fiona and Torgrim seem keen to head off to the farmstead about 4 hours east. Do you have any questions before you leave?
No. I just need direction, and I will take care of all the problems.
Oh, I'm so happy that you are all willing to help and do so with much haste. Bjorg, she is a very respected farmer, a very good heart. She would not ask for help if it was not needed. In fact, she is the type to lend help, as you would say, rather than ask for it. So I do fear that whatever has befallen her farm must be very bad. And with that, he sort of starts ushering you out of his house. And he points to the servants as you see one's ready with a sort of mop and a scrubber and a bucket to clean the mud that perhaps has been drawn in a little bit. So with that, I'll see if anyone wants to do anything else. Otherwise, you'll be heading to Bjorg's farm. So Flamma, have you got any questions or any last thing you want to do here in the village?
I guess she'll ask, does Bjorg just live by herself, or is there anybody else?
Oh, yes. Bjorg has a family. She has a husband. I have not seen her for a few months, but I do not believe that any have left. They all are staying together to ride this out, as you would say in the north. And she has children as well, also a farmhand. Do you think that maybe there is a problem with someone in the family or the farmhand, perhaps, I sense?
Well, if nobody's seen any of them, then that could be it.
Oh, very good questions. That is why I've spent the coin to hire only the best, as I can see they have sent me. What about you,
Don't
Fiona?
worry, count on us. The mean green team.
Oh, the mean green team. Oh, I like the sound of that. He makes a note of it. He gets a little pad and pen out, puts that down. The mean green team. If you succeed in your work, perhaps I can spread the word and get you more work in the future with this catchy team name.
That'll be fantastic.
He'd be a promoter for you. What about you, Fiona? Anything you want to do before heading off?
Fiona is super clever with the name. She would just, quickly work her hands and face and see where they are.
I would want to say that I understood everything of that, but I assume that was just wanting to leave.
Yes, Fiona would like to leave right away.
Okay, no worries at all. Torgrin follows you instead and says to you, would you like me to fashion an umbrella to cover you from this rain?
Perfect.
He does that.
Yes.
Let's have a look at his... I'm pretty sure he's... Let's have a look. Fiona. I mean, if very minimum, he gets his coat and puts that over your head. But let's see what he's got here. His massage ain't gonna help. And that's not gonna help either. He does have help. So roll a 2d6 for Torgrin. And if you get a 1 on one of those 2d6, he's able to keep you dry after you've managed to shake off the rain entering Sigmunda's hut. So roll 2d6 and you need a 1 on one of those. As much as he tries, I mean, look, you're not getting as wet as much as the others, but he does find your height quite difficult. He has like his coat on a stick and he sort of try to put that over you, but it's the thought that counts, I suppose. Although it doesn't seem to keep you as dry as he would have hoped. He looks a bit sheepish at his failed attempt. But as you leave and walk out, the last left in Sigmunda's home is Snotgard.
Snotgard is ready to leave. But before we leave, just a little, not a big question. We discussed about a new skill for my Tom. Can I add this skill, Judging Gaze? Do you remember?
Yeah. I remember you do. I remember you mentioning. I can't even speak. But let's have a look. So currently, how come his stamina is 3 out of 4? What, does he get injured? That can't be right. It must be 4 out of 4.
Okay.
Yes. So a skill for a large creature is 12 gold pieces. So what would you like the skill to be?
I just copied it from our chat. So skill will be Judging Gaze. Tom looks at his enemy with such disapproval that enemy feels very uncomfortable.
Okay, before you go through that,
is
can you just paste that into his equipment, paste that into his skill on his character sheet so I can see it and show if anyone's watching?
1 second.
I can see skill climbing. Yep, punch the other one in. Obviously for me as well, so I know what it is.
And description.
Oh. Oh God. All right, no worries. Well, do you want to use this Judging Gaze on Sigmunda? Or do you just telling me he has it?
Oh, no. Just telling you he has it, and I deducted the gold.
Yep, no worries at all. No problem. I'll just fix that there. Okay, well done. All right. So he says to you as the stable hands get Tom out of the barn and you mount Tom, he says, under the cover of his veranda, any questions, my little green friend?
Snotgard is looking to him like he's much higher and he's really trying to look bigger and more furious, because Snotgard doesn't really like when people looks at him as it's something small.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay, he sees the uncomfortable silence and the pause and the eyes sort of narrow. And Judging Tom also gives him a gaze. And he says, I'm sorry if I have offended you. I do not understand all the customs of the lands. I just ask, is there anything else I can do for you, perhaps?
Snotgard will climb his friend Tom, and he will look from the good height at this guy, and he will say, "No, I'm good."
Very good, very good. You can see in the background his servants are scrubbing the floor, and he says, I bid you goodbye. It is 4 hours travel. Hopefully I will see you before nightfall, perhaps, if you can deal with this in a quite quick manner. But otherwise, may Freya bless you on your journey, and tell Bjorg that the Sigmunda said hello and good speed. And with that, the rest of the villagers sort of wave you off as you head on the journey east. A 4-hour journey means that it will be afternoon by the time you arrive, just after lunch, I guess. You're all fully rested and fed, so you don't have to worry about another meal or sleep until the same time tomorrow. So you can basically go through till the morning, next morning. So the gods have been kind that you arrived in the morning. So it's currently afternoon as we change the scene and you come upon the farm. All right, so the farm, we're going to use this the best as I can. I'm just going to move you all to the north because you're on that road north. I just realized that the map is no way matching the size of everything, but it is what it is. I might actually hide your names just so that we've got a bit more real estate, so don't mind me while I just hide that, because we'll pretty much know who everyone is by your tokens. And I will move you all up where a Snotgard is. Fiona, Torgrin, so you're basically next to this kale patch, okay, when I describe this scene. So just keep in mind that it's afternoon and it's raining, so the ground, even though there's roads, we'll say the roads are traversable even by wagon, so I won't say it's too difficult to cross, but you can definitely tell the fields and the crops would be very muddy, okay, underfoot if you went off the trail. So as you arrive at the farmstead, cloud cover, heavy rain been pelting on you, everyone quite wet. Torgrin's had to change his sort of methods to try and umbrella Fiona, not too much success. But as you arrive, you can straight away see that things are not going well for Bjorg's farm. It's in a very poor state. Okay, the fields themselves, you can see everything on this map. All right, so the barley patch, the vegetable patch, it's all in distance where you can sort of look upon it. We'll say that you're sort of arriving. Actually, I'll give you this picture. I'll open some pictures as we go that are just at the side of the screen. So the first one is sort of the landscape around the farm, and the second one is, which I don't know if I can pulse. Oh yeah, I can pulse. The second one is like looking down at the farmstead. Now, even though that image, and you should be able to zoom in if you need to look more closely, but essentially, even though it looks like it's fenced, it isn't fenced. There are small fences around the barley, these fields, like the patches and the crops, but it's not a fortified farm. Okay, so you can easily enter and exit. But you can tell that, for example, the kale patch itself, as you are right next to it, you can tell it hasn't been tended to. So it's been left in sort of disrepair. And in the barley patch, there's 3 cattle, but one of them is aggressively pacing in the center. And by aggressively, I mean you can tell it's churning up like a bull would sort of flurry around. And the action of it is, you see mud and soil sort of being thrown in the air, and a lot of the barley grain stalks getting crushed. That's why there's like the map is showing that there's places where the field has been destroyed. Okay, so the kale patch is in disarray. The barley patch looks like there's at least one of the cattle being very aggressive. But most alarming at all, this grove here, and even though it says red currant grove, you can't tell it's made for red currants, okay? But essentially you see that grove looks, there's shrubs, but they're nothing but burnt husks. Okay, so it looks like a fire has gone through there and destroyed that grove. The only thing that looks in any good shape is this vegetable patch. Okay, so the veggies look in good shape. You can see there's a main house, which is called the turf house, and you would think that the farm was deserted if it wasn't for a thin curl of smoke that's coming from the chimney of the turf house. Okay, and then there's a small building to the north of the turf house, and I'll just say that where you are, you can see this other shelter here to the south, which you're not too sure what it is. Okay, it's like an open shelter, could be a barn or something like that. So with all that description, let's go to the turn order, and I shouldn't have to look at this every time because I'm pretty much sure I know. So it goes Flamma, Fiona, Snotgard. So Flamma.
Right. The cattle, they're not super close to us, are they?
No, we'll say in terms of distance, the turf house is a far distance, so that would take 2 turns to get to. The kale patch is near,
Okay.
and the barley patch is where the crops are, is 2 far distances. So yes, you can visually see the creature, but you can't make out details. Without rolls.
Okay.
Without rolls.
Not rolls. Okay. Alright. So, I guess I'll go over and just kind of like look at the kale patch and see if everything's alright with at least this, the kale here.
Yeah. You've got 2 options with the kale field. You can either look at it from the road, which is a near distance, or you can walk off the path right to the kale, like right to the fence of the kale patch, which is across mud, but then you'll get a better look. Obviously, you'll be closer. So do you want to look from a distance or go right up to it?
I'll just go right up to it.
All right, you take off the path, you trudge through like, an ankle worth of mud. The grass is very wet, and as you get really close to it, you will need to roll, but I'll just quickly tell you, the rain is pelting down on these crops. It's already making a bit of noise, let's just say. But you do notice some of the crop seems to be moving in opposite directions to how the rain is pelting it. Okay, so there's no wind, but it does seem like things are moving inside it. You can make a detect roll to see what you can see. I don't know if you're skilled in detect. You can get a bonus dice because there's no threat at the moment, so I'll say that you take your time to have a look. So I'll give you 2 dice, and it's a mind roll,
Alright then.
which you are very good at. Yep, that's 2 successes. Don't forget you can use hero points to re-roll or to add a dice before you roll. As you get close, you are in perfect position to notice this. First of all, you smell this wet stench, like of wet animals. Okay, it's quite pungent. It doesn't make you reek or anything, but it's like a wet smell. And you do notice as you look, you can see what only can be described a swarm of rodents that are burrowing in and out and eating and destroying the crops. You can tell just by where you are that the swaying of the field isn't actually so much from the rain pelting down, it's from all these rodents like milling around. You can see that they've got tunnels as well, so they seem well established. And with 2 successes, something like it seems normal devastation, as in a plague of rodents. So you look and thinking, oh god, no one's sort of looked to keep this crop tended to and keep these rodents at bay. You think, okay, that's quite natural, can happen. But you notice a few of the rodents turn to you, and you don't know if it's the way they're looking at you or just the creepiness of this place, but it seems like 2 or 3 of them have stopped, and they look at you, look at each other, and then look at you, and they start moving towards the edge of the kale patch, which is opposite to what all the other rodents are doing, because they're like burrowing, eating, what do you call it? Yeah.
Right. Well, she sees trouble creeping closer, so she's going to go over and start just backing away from these rodents. Hopefully she'll have enough time though, but she's like close enough to the rest of her team to like kind of just like yell out to them, right?
Yeah, you can talk for free.
Okay. So yeah, she'll go like, there's some really weird rats here, and I don't know why they're getting closer to me. But I'm gonna try to hopefully get out of this.
Yeah.
So and she'll start trying to get back to the road.
Yeah, you start sort of trudging backwards, keeping an eye on the rodents, but you quickly see as soon as you take one step backwards, they don't advance in. Like, they weren't attacking you; they were just sort of moving to the edge. You see they disappear back into the cow patch. So you manage to you haven't moved all the way the road. You're sort of in between the cow patch and the road as we go to Fiona. Fiona, are you with us, Fiona? You're in transit. I'll give you a few seconds to reply, otherwise we'll go to Snotgard. Nope, Snotgard.
Okay, Snotgard will look at all these rodents, what is it? And he will say, "Oh, I don't think this farm is in a very good shape. I saw even worse, but this one isn't the example of the best business."
Not best agricultural practices happening around here. Now, to be fair, you can't see any of the rodents. You just see the cow patch sort of moving a lot, but it looks like it's just the rain. So you can only assume that Flamma is telling the truth.
I can smell them.
Okay.
I can smell them.
Fair enough.
I can, and I can smell not only them, but I'm not sure how to say it without slang, but even the rodents poop, and this count of rodents will poop a lot, and it smells.
You take a bit of a waft as the wind sort of changes just that little bit, and it gets right up your nostrils, and you're like, oh, yep, that's rodent dung at its purest and its best. Did you want to perform any actions apart from taking the sights and smells of the farm?
No, he's just want to follow the path and to go to this tour home.
Yeah, do you want to start moving? Yeah, we'll say that you and Tom are halfway, so the next turn you will be at the turf house. As you get closer, you can see this other building, which is that smaller building to the north. I'll just reveal it there. It looks to be a chapel. Well, when I say a chapel, it looks to have some type of symbol at the top, which you assume is a holy symbol. So it's like a small building with some sort of symbol at the top. Okay, so you see that. That's your action. As we go back, unless Fiona's back, I'm going to go to the top of the order. I'll just assume Fiona at this point decides to also move with Snotgard. So not to split the party, but I always hate Tom's token because it seems so big when I go near it. But when there is like an actual token if you don't want, because basically Tom is an image, so he has a big square around him which can sometimes overlap the other tokens. But I'll just put it like that. So I'm going to say that you guys are halfway. Apologies again, this map really isn't proper scale for these tokens, but anyway. Yes, so as you sort of semi-split the party, you're only a near distance away, so you're not that split. All of a sudden, from the south, so from here where the stream is, that's where the hills are. So this picture here, which was like a picture of the farm. In the background, those slopes are hills, and the stream is at the base of the hills. So where those hills are, I don't know. Can you see when I pulse, or is that only for me?
Oh, yes, I can.
Yeah, oh, beautiful, yeah.
Sorry.
So basically, from that direction where the hills are and the stream is, you see a dark cloud start rolling over the hills. So it's still heavy raining, but if you can imagine, almost cinematically, a shadow start drifting across the field from here where my little laser pointer is, and in this direction. So imagine like a shadow almost going day into night. So we'll say that the shadow, it's moving quite quickly. So we'll say it's at the turf house. So it's halfway. So everything from the turf house south is now in darkness, as if night. So the rain is still coming in, but this shadow has just rolled over. And we go back to the top of the order with Flamma.
Okay, so because I do have the oh nope, I do have reveal magic, but I have to be touching distance before I do that. So yeah, so when it turns into shadow, do we see like maybe any lights or anything that or see that anything maybe a bit different besides just the shadow?
As in, you want to look towards where the shadow is coming from, this area? Is that what you want to do? Or?
Yeah, I want to try to see if like does it seem like it's coming from the patch itself or just
where it's emanated from. Okay, you're quite a distance away, so I'll say it's going to have to be a hard check to see anything. Oh, you want to look for light. Just make a detect roll, because if it's something that's light, it'll stand out in the darkness. So make a detect roll, unless you've got a skill. You can basically just do a mind check. The roll. Oh, you're pretty good with your mind anyway. But remember, you need 2 successes to get guaranteed success. So with this check, unless you want to use a hero point, you'll only be able to get 1 success.
Then yeah, I'll use a hero point then.
Okay, subtract the hero point, roll 2 dice. Two successes, you get that hero point back. That's guaranteed success. I will tell you, you don't see light, okay? But what you do notice is that the cloud seems to be, or the darkness seems to be, and I don't know, you can roleplay or narrate how you determine this, okay? But normally when darkness rolls over, you look to the sky because you think, oh, okay, it's dark, it's clouds, you know, what else can be causing darkness? But with 2 successes, you notice the darkness seems to be coming from the stream as a sheet upwards and then enveloping across. So in a nutshell, and as I said, you can describe why you notice that, but A, it doesn't seem natural, and B, you also notice it's coming as a sheet, and it only seems to be enveloping the farm. So as you look to the, I don't know how to describe this, but say as you look to here, which is off the map, the darkness isn't there. It's rolling like this map. It's rolling from the stream north, but it's only covering the farm. So do you want to elaborate or narrate or roleplay how you determine that, or is that enough?
You go over as she's like trying to go over and drag herself from the mud. Probably just goes over and kind of like falls down the road a little bit. And then as she's standing up, seeing this like rolling darkness, and then trying to see any lights from like the home at least, she'll like kind of just like realize that like at her angle on the floor, or on the ground, that she's like seeing these rolling sheets of darkness, because she's probably like a little bit lower on the ground, and then goes like guys, It looks like it's coming from the stream.
I'm happy for you to move your token somewhere else, or you can leave it with the party, because you're out of the mud near the cow patch, you know, on the road. Do you want to be with the party, or I will allow, if you want, you could be at one of these junction points?
She'll probably go over and like when she gets like when she picks herself up, like we'll go over and start getting closer, because she now has to at least see if she can touch whatever's happening to maybe reveal some magic.
You can move your token to where you want to be. You can't make it to the turf house, but you can definitely get along there. The other thing that you will know is that actually I won't say. All right, next person we go to is Fiona. Fiona's not on, so let's go. So Fiona's basically just tagging with Snotgard at this point, and she just says, "I'll stay close to you, Snotgard, in case trouble comes to us. Torgrin, be ready." And they both get prepared to defend in case there's something they need to do. Snotgard.
Snotgard will follow his fellow goblin friend to the Dur house, and as you said before, he and Tom should probably will reach the Dur house by
100%.
this time.
Yes. You bypass the little, I'll call it a chapel, okay, for want of a better term, but you bypass that, you get close to the turf house, and the door opens. And in the doorway, you see this person, who I will reveal now. Okay, this person, you can see him from the doorway. You see he looks concerned, okay, straight away from the for the face. A quite well-built, bearded gentleman, and he's holding a pitchfork in one hand, and he looks to the south to where the stream is, and then looks up to the sky, and he says, "Quickly, my friends, the darkness is upon us once more," and beckons you in. And there's light coming from inside the turf house, which suggests there's probably a hearth or something there. And you did see the waft from the smoke. And see, he welcomes you in, although you don't like the chances of Judging Tom fitting in there.
Judging Tom is trying to enter the house. He is big, but he is a lizard. Lizards are known to be able to squeeze themselves.
Fair enough. He says, as he parts way for you to move Judging Tom in as well, so are you still riding Judging Tom, or are you dismounting?
Dismounting, of course.
Yeah. As
it
you
will be
dismount,
very difficult for Tom
yes,
to squeeze with Snotgard.
this person says, he says, "No, just you." And he seems quite aggressive, but as he says that, before you can even react, because you're near the doorway, you can see there's a family inside as well. All right, so I'm going to put them over here, just next to it, and I'll reveal them one at a time. And then one of them, the elderly woman, says, "No, Ulfa." So you know that guy with the pitchfork's Ulfa. He says, "No, Ulfa. These are the ones that Sigmunda has sent. All are welcome in the turf house." As well as that woman who's spoken, who was that one there, that character there. There are others here, because Sigmunda did mention she has a family, and you all put one and one together and think, okay, well, this must be Bjorg and the family. So she says, "I am Bjorg, Bindeuter. Thank you for coming to my aid, strange one," she says. And then she points to a young girl, who's probably 14, 15, and she says, "Kata, take the adventurer's steed into the side room. There's room for all in my house." And you see Ulfa stands aside, as if, a guard or something, you're not too sure. Well, actually, Sigmunda did mention they have a farmhand. So you put one and one to get three. So it's still your turn, Snotgard, because you haven't done an action. You've done a move, and your move is now you are in the turf house, and this young girl, who looks very sad, she sheepishly outstretches her hand to try to grab the rein of Judging Tom. but she looks very frightened.
First of all, judging Tom will look at this Ulfur guy with his very judging gaze, without any actions, of course, just judging. And
do you want to make a roll for judging Tom?
No,
No?
he's
Okay.
just looking.
Okay.
Yes, he's just making him very
Uncomfortable?
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yes,
Look,
and
he looked a
then,
bit frightened, so he had the pitchfork up, but when Bjorg said, no, let them in, he backed down straight away.
Okay, and then Snotgard will say to this girl, "Don't worry, Tom is a very, very good boy. He's never once did anything bad to my friends."
Yeah, I'll get you to... She doesn't look convinced. She keeps looking at her mum, but if you want, you can do a mind roll, and like as a parlay. And if you succeed, your words are soothing and your explanation solid. If you want to use your action to parlay to... Yep, you do. Oh, of course
Yes.
of course you succeed. You guys are blessed with good rolls so far. You say that, and Bjorg says, "Come, daughter, what have I taught you? Bravery always and courage in the Finnsdeuter, even in the face of strangers. You must see them firstly as friends, unless their actions prove otherwise." And she sort of takes a deep breath and looks at you after your words were very sort of calming. And she steps forward bravely and takes judging Tom, looks straight into his judging eye, and she leads him into a side room, say through a curtain, which it seems to be like an open area where they perhaps... what would you do in an open area? Perhaps in a lounge room of some description. So I'll say judging Tom is with Cartler. So she disappears in the side room as the curtains close on her. You are now in the turf house. Oh, you've decreased your size. I love it. And following you in is also Fiona, who introduces herself, and also Torgrin. They come out of the rain. Torgrin says, "Please, I need a towel for my Fiona." And Bjorg says, "Ali," and points to this little boy. He's probably 5 or 6 years old, this one here. Says, "Get the towel for our guests." And he goes into the pantry and grabs out some blankets or some covers to give to all of you. Gives one to you, Snotgard, gives 2 to Torgrin, and Torgrin then starts patting dry Fiona. And Bjorg, who seems definitely to be the alpha, or it's Bjorg Finnsdeuter's farm, so you know that's her farm. She points to this other gentleman who does look younger than her. She says, "This is Heimer. He is my husband." And she says, "Heimer, drinks for our guests." And he says, "Yes, Bjorg." And he goes to a cupboard and opens up and starts bringing out some flagons. They all look frightened, definitely. But it looks like they are trying to put on a brave face. But Ulfar keeps looking outside as the shadow now, engulfs the house. And when it becomes dark outside, also Heimer looks outside, and you can see as he grabs the mugs, and it looks like he's not pouring water. It looks like he's pouring some sort of ale. And he's got enough cups for everyone. His hands are shaking, and he's getting a stern eye from Bjorg. To sort of, even though she doesn't put it in words, she's looking to say, you need to show strength in the face of this sort of thing. She doesn't say that, but he looks at her sort of apologetically, sheepishly, in fact, as we get back to the top of the order with 4 of our party inside. And we go back to Flammabelle. You notice the party disappear inside the turf house, including judging Tom. He didn't look like he fit in the door, but somehow he was able to breathe in, and he became narrow and he snuck right inside. So what do you want to do, Flamma? As now we'll say the entire farm is engulfed in this enveloping, unnatural darkness.
Well, Flamma is going to start hoofing it towards the house, but as she's getting inside, or she tries to get inside, she's gonna look to where we saw that beast or animal that was like moving in the barley patch. She has dark see. Can she see in this darkness?
Yes. Okay. Let's see if you activate Dark Sea. Let's start with that. And you can move your token anywhere you like, closer to the barley patch, or you can just move it a bit. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, closer to the turf house, just outside the front door. You hear Ulfa saying, "Oh, there is another one, Bjorg. Please come inside." You know, he tries to beckon you in, but yeah, make a Dark Sea roll as you enact that spell. Just
All
one
right,
dice.
One dice. Do I need 2 successes or?
You don't know. Generally, it's 1 dice to activate a spell, but if you want it to be, you know, perfect, as in, you know, be able to be stronger.
Yeah, so I'll go over and use a hero point, and
Yeah, go
then
for
we'll
it.
use 2 then.
You probably roll a 2 the way you guys have been rolling. Of course! You get the hero point back and 2 successes. Unbelievable. Well, not unbelievable. It's good. I'm on your side. Okay, so as you look towards a barley patch, for free, with 2 successes, I'll reveal another image, although it's not a very good one, I don't think. But you notice the creature making the trouble in the barley field is what looks to be a bull. Okay, so I've revealed it over here, if you can see it. So this barley field is the largest field in the whole farmstead, but it's definitely ruined. It's irregularly shaped and ruined by the bull. The other 2 cattle look like cows. They're not doing anything, but they're right in the middle, side by side. So imagine the cows are in the middle, and this bull is like running from this spot to this spot, you know, running here, bucking up and down and destroying bits of the crops. As you look towards it, is there anything particular you want to do, or were you trying to ascertain?
It's more like ascertain, but if it looks like a normal bull, but it's just acting strange, she's
Yes.
not exactly an expert on that,
No.
so she'll
She'll
just go over.
It doesn't look to be like a. It looks to be like a normal bull, as far as you tell, and it's very aggressive. It's like snorting, you know, agitated, yeah. And okay, if anything, it seems to be moving around these 2 other cattle. So like it goes here, then so it goes there, then it goes here. So we'll say right at this point, it's to that little wrecked area closest to you. The other 2 cattle aren't moving. They're alive, but they're not being agitated.
Okay. That was one question I was going to ask. So the second question, the bull. So kind of like remembering back to the mice that were in the kale patch. Are they moving in a similar way?
Oh. Look, with your Dark Sea, I'll say, because you got 2 successes, the mice or the rodents were burrowing over all each other haphazardly. No rhyme or reason. They just seem to be like, what do you call it when they're overpopulated? Like, it was like that. Like, basically, there's too many of them for the area. They had burrowing holes, eating, you know, copulating, whatever rodents do. It was the only strange thing about the rodents were those 2 or 3 that sort of stopped and started walking towards you. Having said that, as you are looking, make a detect roll. I'll give you a bonus dice because you got so well with your Dark Sea. This is for detect. So again, it's a mind roll. So I'm sort of giving you 2 actions this round, but I'll go back to the others promptly.
Okay.
So just roll 2 dice. Yeah, it's a reaction, so you're not going to get hero points. This is just to notice something. Okay, what you notice is that as it moves to this area closest to you, okay, so remember it's dark at the moment, so your Dark Sea is only allowing you to see this. The creature stops snorting and bucking. It slowly walks to the edge of the barley patch, and you are sure, as the darkness above you, it is looking at you.
Right, okay. So, yeah, she's gonna go over and immediately go inside the house, though, and just close the door.
You go inside, and Ulfa closes the door straight away, and he puts the bolt across to lock it, and he goes to the window that's looking out of the turf house, and he's sort of like guarding. He's looking out, and he's the one who has the pitchfork, so he looks out. And Bjorg introduces everyone again, just briefly, so you know that this is her family. And we go down to the second one. Fiona's not here, so Snotgard.
Okay, so while we are waiting for something, I don't know what are we waiting for. Tell me, good sir, what is going on here? When this darkness first came?
Yeah. Flamma has finished serving the ale, and he's the first to drink one. He runs there. He sinks his back straight away. Harley huddles to Bjorg's legs, like to try to get close to Bjorg. But Bjorg almost callously sort of moves him away and gives him a stern look, you know, don't be a baby sort of look. And then Harley, who's been crying, obviously, just sort of steps back and grabs one of his toys, which is sort of like a scarecrow thing that has been made. Cartler returns from the room where Judging Tom was and says, Mother, can I give him some food? And then Bjorg looks at you, Snotgard. She's just about to explain what's going on, and she says, what does your friend like to eat?
Oh, he can eat almost everything, but usually he prefers some vegetables or something.
Okay, she goes to the
Vegetables.
Goes to the larder, and she says, yes, we have the vegetable patch we have kept alive and well. And she Cartler grabs a basket, and she says, I will feed the creature. He is quite beautiful. I will give him some of our tomatoes and celery. And then she goes back into that room. It looks as though there is something on her mind, though. I mean, yes, there's trouble afoot, but she looks at Bjorg, and then, you know, something doesn't seem right with the way she's sort of acting. But Bjorg says to you, or you must be the ones that Gunnarsson sent. Thank you for coming. If I have not introduced myself, I apologize. There is much darkness and trouble on my farm. I am Bjorg Finnsdeuter. I can assure you, we have done everything we can to lift this darkness ourselves, but to no success. Hope that you can do better than what we could. The trouble began a month ago. First, our kale patch was overrun with rodents. We did have farm cats, but they all but disappeared. She looks around at the others, who sort of nod, you know, confirming that that is a true account. And then she says, then 2 weeks ago, our beloved ox bull went mad, I tell you. It took over the barley field, herded the other cattle into it, and despite our efforts to get them back to the pen, we are too scared to go near it. And then finally, what broke the camel's back and what made us call for help. 4 days ago, a freak and sudden storm gathered quickly. An arc of lightning struck my beloved red currant shrub field, and then the rest of the grove caught fire. But strangely, the storm vanished as quickly as it had appeared, and caused no other damage once the fire dissipated, just leaving us with the black husks of the grove. And now, every night since then, this dark cloud comes over us, and we are too afraid to leave our dwelling. Please. And for the first time, she sort of quivers in her voice. She's been like a pillar of strength to this family. Please. There is no doubt that we have been cursed, but we have given thanks to the gods. You must find out what is happening here and put a stop to it. It is still your turn, Snotgard, but anyone can speak if they wish.
Oh, okay.
Flamma,
Yes. Do you have
say
something to say?
Flamma was just gonna go over, like, when she heard that, like, something caught fire, her ears perked up, and she was about to say something, but then realized it was inappropriate.
A fire is a blessing, you were going to say. Okay, Snotgard, go.
Oh yes, I agree. Fire is a blessing, especially when it's cold or dark. But
there
anyway,
is a
yeah,
fire in here. There is a hearth burning, keeping them warm in the rain.
No, I meant our friend, very hot and bright mage. So I think a lot of fire probably can help us with the darkness. Because fire is bright and it's can produce light. So
They nod. Yep.
Yes. So I think it's your time to shine, Flamma.
Right. So let's go over and at least go down a couple things. So the darkness, it also started a month ago, correct?
Yes, every night for the last, I think, 29 nights, we have had this shadow envelop us during the day, as you can see. And when it does, that is when we have noticed the rodents more active and the ox bull more aggressive.
Right. And does it last all night?
No, it will come and go. It is not the same time every day, though. We do not know its patterns. But it seems strange that clouds would form over us at such uneven times during these months.
Right. And did you notice that the darkness, it was coming from the stream itself?
They all look at each other, as this might be new news.
Well, it's something that I saw when we were getting over here. But it seems that it was coming from the river stream. Have you had any issues with the water here?
When you ask that and mention it could be the stream or the water, or just it could be coincidence, Katla re-emerges, again looking at Bjorg, and then she sort of said, not so much Flamma notices this, but the others probably notice. She looks like she has wanted to say something, but every time she's about to speak, she gets the eyeballs by Bjorg. But now that Bjorg is sort of not broken down, but looking a bit more vulnerable, and Heimer comes to Bjorg and sort of gives her a cuddle to say, "Do not worry, wife, it will be well. All will be well now that the adventurers are here." Katla says, "What of Lifa?" And when she says that, and the name doesn't ring any bells, she says, "What of Lifa?" And Bjorg says, "That boy will be the death of us. Go find him, Katla. Tell him to come here. It is safe if we are all together." And she says, "I think he is in the chapel, ma'am." "Oh no, I told that boy." And she looks at her husband and she says, "Do not worry." He just keeps saying the same thing, "Do not worry, it will be fine." And Ulfa says, "My lady, would you like me to fetch the boy?" And this is all happening as if you guys aren't even there. I guess they're talking about an individual called Lifa.
Sorry to interrupt, but who's Lifa? And what chapel?
"Oh," Bjorg says, I'm sorry. Lifa is my son. He is an adventurous spirit. It is hard to keep him contained. He is, of all of us, he seems the most agitated by these foul events. He is trying to find ways and spends much time in the chapel with praying to the gods for an answer. For some reason, Freya and Sif have turned their backs on us. I do not understand why. I have been a good wife and a good farmer." She's sort of, she's getting more emotional as she has to. Not only did she have to relay all the bad things, but she has a family and all that. And then Katla says, "No, let me get Lifa. I am not afraid of the darkness." So both Ulfa and Katla volunteer to go get Lifa. And they're waiting for Bjork to answer, but she's sort of weeping.
Don't worry, I can accompany them. So let's go, children. Let's go to the chapel to get your... who's it, your brother or your uncle?
When you say that, you see Kartla looks at Bjorg before answering you and says, "He is my brother." And Ulfa says, "It is too dangerous for the young to go. I will come with Snotgard." And he stands next to you with his pitchfork. He says, "Bjorg, you stay here with your family." But still she hasn't made a decision. It's like Ulfa and Kartla both want to go. Bjorg hasn't made a decision, but unless, and you've said you'll accompany them. Bjorg says, "I will leave it to our adventurers to decide who goes. I put my faith in their hands."
Ulfur, look at me. I'm a seasoned warrior. I went through a number of adventures. Do you really want to say I can't guard 2 children? When I'm going to literally 5 feet? What are you trying to say me? Do you want to say that I'm worthy? That I can't look at for some children while going for 5 minutes out? I really can look at your children without a problem. So you not need it. Better be here and, I don't know, guard this house.
He nods. You would think he'd be taken aback, but there's something about Ulfa that, as I mentioned, he's quite well built. You know, maybe it's years of toiling in the fields, but he steps back and he nods, and it's even the way he nods and he's holding his pitchfork. Something about him also seems, I won't say the suspicious, but something seems more than what he is. Kartla, sort of, her eyes lighten up because she already likes Tom, so she's sort of growing on you as well, I guess. And she goes by your side and she says, "See, Mama, the gods have spoken through the heroes. I will prove that I am brave. It will be good to see Lifa again." And Bjorg nods to you and to Kartla, giving her blessing that, okay, you can both head to the chapel. Fiona is sitting down at the moment while Torgrin is combing her hair, grooming her, putting plaits on, you know, that sort of stuff. And they are partaking in the ale, and Fiona says, "I will remain here with Torgrin to guard the family in case anything threatens them." Ulfa nods at that as well, leaving Flamma as the only one who isn't assigned.
Okay. Flamma is fine with going with everybody else to get Lifa.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so at the start of the next round, with this darkness afoot, all of a sudden you hear this mighty crack. Now, it sounds as though like you would hear if a crack of lightning had struck through the air, but it rumbles. So it's either coming from the ground or something from the sky. Perhaps lightning has hit the ground, but to such an extent that it sort of does, you know, tremor through. Heimer, he sort of looks frightened straight away, and you see one of the cups falls down on the table and sort of spills, and he grabs a cloth. He tries to clean it frantically. Bjorg quickly huddles. Harley, hold the gods, and she starts, you know, praying, you know, doing a Norse sort of prayer in her own language, something, you know, broken common, protect us, save us. Fiona and Torgrin quickly get in sort of defensive stances, and Ulfa straight away goes to Bjorg's side with his pitchfork handy and sort of looking around. What is happening? You know, they all seem like they haven't heard something like this before. So we go to the top of the order, starting with, you haven't left the turf house yet, so this happened as you're going to the door. Let's just say you're about to take the latch off the door when you hear this mighty crack of lightning, and then maybe trailing by a roll of thunder, suggesting that it is sort of lightning based. Let's start with, we'll keep still the initiative as it is because you haven't seen a threat per se. Flamma.
Is there like a window nearby the door?
Yes, there are windows. Most of them are covered with shutters, except for the one that Ulfa was looking at. and that window is facing the barley patch, and probably can see the stream as well, but you can't see the chapel from this window.
Okay, so I'm gonna go over and try to see if I can see what's happening.
See what I can
Or
see.
I guess you know what? I feel like we might as well. So I'm gonna unlatch the door and then just open it.
Okay, as you unlatch and open it, you see there's a gasp from the family. You know, they sort of hold their breath. Cartla also sort of takes a step back because she is afraid, even though she's showing the strength that she's been brought up to do. You crack open the door and this wind brings in the rain. Now, the wind wasn't there before. I mean, it was sort of rainy, but it was quite still. Sort of like gushes in, bringing water inside, and the darkness outside is obviously still there. So you've opened the door, the rain has sort of gushed in. What do you want to do? That's a free action. Open the door.
Okay, you're gonna go over and then look out and see what's different.
Yeah, you happy to step out of the door into the rain?
Yep.
Yeah, you're holding your staff obviously because that's something you'll use to cast. Have you got anything else in your other hand, or just holding the staff? Have a look.
For now, just the staff.
Yeah, don't forget you can put an X on anything you're holding in your equipment. So as you step out into the darkness, first of all, roll a d6. If you roll 2 or higher, your dark seeing spell is still active.
Okay, so let me do that. D6. Dice. Here we go. Okay, well.
Oh, 6 rounds. So I will say that it's still got 4 rounds. So after this, we've got 3 rounds of dark sea. Okay, as you look out with your dark sea, this will be a detect roll. So I'll give you 2 dice because your dark sea is helping you see like it's day. So the first thing you notice is that the darkness, even though it's unnatural, it's not providing any penalties or like cloaking your, stopping your natural dark sea or your dark sea from working. So roll 2 dice as you peer around.
Okay. All right,
and I assume,
so
are you looking anywhere in particular?
I guess I'll be looking at the patch first and then probably to the chapel.
You can't see the... Oh, no, you have stepped out. Okay, so you're doing like a 180, looking towards the vegetable patch and then going over chapel. Okay, as you look south towards the vegetable patch, because you got 2 successes, I will give you this bit of information. All right, you see... I'll use my pointer. You see from the stream a dark figure walking north. Now, you can't quite make out what it is, but I will say enough that in the rain, and because you got dark sea, it looks to be a large hulking figure. So think of the size of a Fiona, but larger. And it's trudging. Not quickly, not charging, but we'll say that it's just to the side of the barley patch. You notice it's coming from the stream. Now, you quickly glance to the chapel, but that's obviously getting your focus. Okay, you do your 180, you glance to the chapel, there's no change. It's that picture over here, just of the chapel. And I'll also reveal the vegetable patch. I mean, it's just a vegetable patch, but hey, I've got a picture for it, so I'll reveal it. The vegetable patch looks like that. Yeah. So that's your turn, and we'll say you moved out as your move action, so you're standing still on the path, and you've noticed that. You can speak if you wish. It's a far distance away, this item.
Yeah, because we have to... I'm gonna let Snotgard know. And there's a person, a figure, something that's getting towards north. I'll just point it out to him if he ever comes out.
Yeah, okay. Snotgard, Cartler's right near you, okay?
Yep. Snotgard will take Catherine's hand and he will follow Flamma, and also he will stare into the darkness with his dark sea very, very intensely.
Oh, okay, yeah, you've got
So-
natural dark see, yeah. You
Yes,
can
I
use
have
your
a
action.
natural.
Yeah, with just looking south, you can't see the. I'll say the creature. Okay, you can't see the creature. You can only really see the vegetable patch, the barley patch. So you can't quite make it out. But if you want to use your action to do detect to have a good look, you can. Otherwise, you can do something else.
Yes, I want to detect.
All right, I will give you a bonus dice as well because you've been told by Flamma what to look for and in the correct direction. So roll 2 dice.
And I will roll 3. I will burn one of my hero points.
Yep, it doesn't
Just
want to
say
miss it.
I'm trying to.
1 success. So
This one.
do you want to use a hero point to re-roll or take that?
Yep, I will reroll it.
Yep. Two successes and you get your hero point back. So with that expenditure, and I'll say that because it's moving and at the same time you both now have 2 successes, I will describe the actual figure itself. Okay, so what you notice is, first of all, you both smell this stench of rot. Similar sort of rot that Snotgard smelt in the kale patch, but this one is more the rot of death, like something, you know, that has died, perhaps. And you see that there is this large figure. At first glance, seems to be some type of giant. It definitely is larger than Fiona, but as you both peer and narrow your eyes with your magical and natural dark seeing, you notice that it is what seems to be the remains of its flesh, darkened, swollen and rotten. You can indeed see bones jutting out from beneath the skin, and where the eye should be, this clearly marks out this glow. 2 little pinpoints of perhaps like a heatless orange light, so not a flame per se, but definitely a hideous creature. And by all reports of description, you would say some sort of undead, perhaps returned to a hateful life. And as you do see its form, as it trudges, we'll say it's trudging right through the, it's still a far distance away, okay, so because you did do your action to detect straight away. I'll say that it stops, it tilts its head back and it spreads its arms wide, and then a voice, loud, bold and furious, but surprisingly laced with some feminine malice, speaks. And I will copy and paste this into the notes after I explain it. It says in this female tone, "Under the hills of Fjallholt's Crest, where Bjorg tends her fields in quiet toil, a thief crept to Erika's cairn, stole the blade sworn to the dead. Erika rises now, his gaze like embers, to curse the hearth that shields the crime." So I will paste this into the notes. So almost unnaturally, the voice doesn't match this creature. Make of the pronouncement what you will, but its eyes glow stronger just for a moment, when, as if, you know, in sequence with the dialogue, then goes back to its glow, its orange glow, as we roll turn order. So everyone, re-roll your turn order and enter it into the turn order field. I'll let everyone do that themselves. So this is combat turn order now. Replaces your previous turn order. You've heard that this creature is called Erika, and we will do the farm.
Still, that's nearly the same. Okay.
I'll just call it the farm family. What the hell. Alright, so we got Snotgard 24.63, 28.45, and 15.32. So I will get Snotgard. You can roll for Erikur, and Flamma, you can roll for the family. So roll turn order for those two, and you can enter in. I'll get you to punch in all those numbers for me if you can. And don't forget that once we punch all those in and do the turn order, you will have the option of using a hero point to improve your order. So, wow, Flamma first, Snotgard second. Gee, that's good. Okay, Erica is third. So Fiona's not here, so I won't say that she'll use a hero point to get her turn order up. So we'll say that she's at the bottom. And now, because we have reached the point where you've encountered the creature, before we begin the turn order, let's have a 10-minute break. So I don't have a timer, so if you can all just manage your own time and come back in 10 minutes.
Generally having some good rolls this game. So,
Yeah, there have been some good rolls, and we are back, everyone, for the second half of this adventure. The party is set for success, I feel, as the rain pelts down on the farm that has been draped in this unnatural darkness, and some creature seemingly possessed, given the voice that is streaming from its body, pronounces perhaps the reason behind the curse. As we go to the... Actually, before I go to the top of the order, I said I was going to write down the turn order in my notes so I don't have to keep switching. Give me a second. He says, looking for the right screen. Is it that one? Yes, it is. Alright, so it's Flamma. And then Snotgard. And then Erikor. And then the family. Then Fiona. Alright, so let us go. Flamma, you're up.
Okay. Well, so I'm seeing this creature, this being, just go over and make this announcement, and it looks quite hostile, at least.
You think?
Or kind of make... Yeah. Right. So I guess the other thing is, besides this creature, when I look out to the barley patch, do I see the bull?
Yes, I will say that last time you looked there, before you went into the house, it was on the outskirts. And I'll say at this point what you notice. I'm glad you asked about the bull, because I forgot. This is perfect. What you see is the bull charging this way. So if you can imagine all the crops sort of breaking open, it's making a beeline and it's heading, you know, by all intents and purposes with your calculations, it's heading in a direct line this way.
Right. Okay. Right. So I don't like that. Let's see. From where I'm at, does it seem like it's far from me?
Okay, so both the barley patch and the creature are far distance from you. Now the bull has cover because you know it's crashing through the barley patch, but the creature is clearly visible trudging through the veggies.
Okay. Right. Well, for now I'm not going to focus on the bull, but I am going to go over and start, I guess, focusing on this creature. Because I do have my missile, so I'm going to, cast that.
Alright, so...
And he said...
Yeah, so remember, it's 1 dice of spells. That also is the difficulty rating. So if you only have 1 dice, you can only get 1 success in its effectiveness. 2 dice, you can get 2 successes. And don't forget, you can also prepare burn around to, you know, summon more power. So do you want to roll 1 dice or use a hero point to do 2 dice?
Would I burn around and use a hero point?
Yeah, well, how that would work is you choose to burn a round. That automatically gives you that bonus next round. And then next round, you can say, I'll use a hero point as well, and that'll give you 2 dice bonus.
Okay, so I will burn a... You know what? I'm going to do this for the bull. I'm going to go for burn a round, and then once, hopefully, I see it, then I will unleash my missile.
No worries. You lock your gaze towards that missile that is the bull charging through the barley patch, preparing to fire. And I will say that I'll put a note next to your Dark Sea that you're preparing. You've got Dark Sea 2 rounds left.
I also want to say that apparently I also have Natural Dark Sea as well, or at least I think so because it's under my skills. So
let's have a look. Flamma is a goblin. Yeah. Right, so you automatically can see in grayscale at a near distance only, but when you use magic, it extends it afar. So I'm glad you mentioned that as well. So that means that you can clearly see the creature, and you'll clearly see the bull when it bursts out of its patch because of your Dark Sea. But once that dissipates, only in near range will you get will not have the dark penalty. So that means for Snotgard, you've got a penalty to hit any of these targets in far distance. Even though you can see them, you can't make them at 100% because your Dark Sea doesn't stretch that far. All right, so Flamma, you've still got 2 rounds left of your Dark Sea anyway. You lock on to the bull that hasn't emerged yet, but you'll have a bonus if it emerges in the next round and doesn't manage to supernaturally get to you in this round. You'll find out soon, but you've got yourself locked on it anyway. Do you want to move as well, or are you happy to stand your ground in front of the turf house door? Move is a free action.
I'll stand my ground for now.
All right, let's go.
Actually, I'll move up just a little bit, like just before the house, and then that'll be it.
Yeah, no worries at all. You move in front of the party. Snotgard, you see Flamma start conjuring something, but not too sure what she's doing.
Okay, Flamma, are you sure you want to fight this thing? Because I'm pretty sure it was saying about something stolen from it, and I'm pretty sure this stolen thing has this Leifer guy. My intuition tells me that probably this very adventurous son of our good folks probably stole something, I think from the tomb or something like this, and now this not a very alive guy or woman, I'm not sure, is too decayed by the time. Just want to have his what it was, fork, sword, I'm not sure. Anyway, I think it wants his artifact back. So I propose we will hold a bit while we can, and probably we will send Fiona to check out this place where Leifer is. And if she will find this sword in the time, probably we can solve this adventure without a lot of blood. What do you say about it?
Okay, I'm kind of thinking the same thing too. Then we need to get inside the chapel then. Still, that bull, it's coming in fast, so we need to get there as quick as possible.
Okay, good idea. But if this thing will close a bit too close, let's fire whatever we have. Okay, and then Snotgard will take Katla's hand, and he will very forcefully will go back to the turf house. He will say, Katla, you wait here, please. don't move out of this house, and tell Fiona we need her help. She's the stealthier between all of us, and if she can help us, it will be very, very good.
As you move Cartler inside, out of the rain, he says, "What was that sound?" Because she heard the pronouncement. "What's happening, Snotgard? I do not want to leave Lifa. He could be in trouble." And Bjork says,
Yes,
listen
I'm
to
pretty
the
sure.
hero's words. Obey if you want to survive. Girl, do not question them. So she gets a stern knockdown from Bjorg. She comes inside sheepishly, teary. "Lifa, God's protect him out there. He is out there somewhere." And Fiona says, "Do you not think it's wise that I stay with the family in case they are under threat?"
Fiona's back.
Oh,
Yes, stay with the family. And Fiona, let's go here. You, Fiona, please run to this house and find the sword.
are you back, Fiona?
She is here. She is here physically, but I think her earphones doesn't work.
So, okay, then in that case,
It's check out this one.
in that case, I'll let Snotgard play Fiona as well when it comes to her turn. But nonetheless, you've told Fiona that, so it's still your turn, Snotgard. You've pushed Cartler inside. That's a move action. So, did you want to do any other action, or just head in the direction of the barn?
I'm heading in direction of the barn.
No worries. You get to make a mind check, and it's a reaction, so you're not going to get a hero point for it. But nonetheless, make a mind check. Oh, you notice swarming out of the kale field, hundreds of chittering
Yo.
rodents, and they are, I mean, I don't want to make the picture too big, but essentially they're rolling over each other like a wave, and they are heading directly, and they're quite wide, so imagine there's thousands of them, we'll say, but they're as wide as the kale patch in a line, and they seem to be heading directly in this direction, so either the chapel or the turf house. But either way, you're going to be in its area. So what you need to do, well, you've got two options, because technically you haven't done an action, you've just done a move. But you could, if you wish, make a might check, and if you've got athletics, you get a bonus die to make it to the, or either back into the turf house or into the chapel before the swarm hits on their turn. So would you like to do any or either of that, or something else? Because you haven't actually done an action yet, you've just done a move. Have I lost Snotgard as well? Or
No, I'm here.
yep.
So I will try just shush them for now. I'm trying to pretend to be weak and very scary, but it's all I can do this turn, I think.
Well, you've got the option. You can, if you're not going to do anything, I can say that you've moved towards the chapel, and you can use this round to prepare, which means you get a bonus to either attack or defend. Or
Yes,
you can
sounds
make a
good.
might action to run into the chapel, but then that'll be your action.
No, I will try to defend the way for others to the chapel.
All right, so do a prepare action.
So I will prepare. Yep, I will make a prepare action.
All right, I'm going to say prepare, defend for you. Now, do you want to call out anything for judging Tom, or leave him inside?
No, he is still there.
All right, with that, as you guys perform your actions, Erica's turn. Erica's, geez, I can't even speak. Erica's turn covers all of the enemy, so that means the bull and the mice, the rodents. So first of all, I will do Erica. Erica, again, that female voice calls out Run, run, fools! The curse will find you. You will all fall before hell. So it calls out a name of hell, and then continues by saying, "You cannot hide it forever. I sense its presence. Return it, so the dead may rest." Okay, and with that, Erica, the creature, starts charging. Okay, charges through the vegetable patch, but seems to be heading in a direct line to, not to Flamma, but directly to the house, to the front door. Okay, so the next round he'll get there. So he's charging through. He's in a near distance to Flamma, but not charging Flamma. As to the bull emerges out of its cover and locks its gaze. It seems to be straight on Flamma. You're not too sure if it's because it's going in that direction. It will also be at Flamma the next round, although Flamma will get to act first. So you've got two possible encounters, one definitely heading towards you, the other maybe not so much. And the mice, they swarm. Before you know it, Snotgard, they are upon you. They move straight upon you, and you will get a bonus to defend. Let me switch to the rodent swarm here on my little notes. Okay, you need to make a defend roll. So you don't have blocks, so you can only try to dodge them, like try to move, push them away, keep them away with your sword, that sort of thing. So roll 2 dice. Normally you only get 1. Roll 2 dice and see how you go. It's a might check.
Might?
Wow. Yes. Okay, as you flail your swords in a defensive swirl, like a whirlpool, the rodents do try to head towards you, and they do hit into you. Like some of them like jump on you and sort of leap on you, but you're moving to such a fashion that even if they are biting or scratching, you're knocking them away, and they're not penetrating your armor or your flesh, like wounding you, but they nonetheless have swarmed you. So what that means is they are all around you and making it harder for you to move away. So you don't know how long you can keep this up, but given that you have encountered them, it is a hard check to keep them off from either like covering you totally or injuring you. All right, so I'm going to say that these rodents now, and I'll make it so that you're above them if I can. There's some way to do that. Think like that. Anyway, I won't muck around with that, but just imagine these rodents are at the turf house. They're at the kale patch. Every distance from the kale patch to the turf house, they're there. Ulfa runs to the door straight away and bolts it shut, and you see Flamma, the light from inside, close, and he yells out, "Away! Leave this family alone, you demon!" and shuts it and bolts it as the family huddles together near the fire, because Snotgard mentioned fire can also be good. So they're in front of the fire. They've got Fiona and Torgrim in between them, and Ulfa's at the door. He's sort of like holding it so that nothing will get in, and all of a sudden the swarm hits the building, and Fiona can hear them all banging against the door, sort of chattering. Snotgard, you can see some of them trying to climb up the eaves looking for a way in. So essentially this whole area has been swarmed, and that's the end of the rodents. That's the end of Edicor, and that's the end of the bull. All right, so well done, Snotgard. You managed to avoid getting injured. The family, they are cowering inside, so Fiona can speak to them if she wishes, but they are just saying prayers to the gods. Cartler's more sort of, they're all teary, but Cartler's more, Lefa, I'm worried for him, he's out there somewhere. Fiona, are you there? Otherwise I'll get Snotgard to play your turn.
I am halfway there on Snotgard's headset. For some reason my headset doesn't work. I have no idea why. I just, came here, my headset was prepared, but it was, in the end of the day, it wasn't working. I heard you loud and clear, but you didn't hear me at all. Horrible day to tell the truth. Okay, so, Fiona would like to ask the family who is praying, and she's looking for a person who, looks a little bit less distressed. So she would ask them, is there other way out of the house? So any spot that can be potentially used for the or for Fiona to get out.
Yes, as you say that, Bjorg and her family are all huddled together. They don't speak, but Ulfa, who you all have noticed here, there's something about him. He's more than a farmhand. Okay, the way he's acting, he's very, he acts quickly, like you lock the door. He comes to your side and he says, follow me, I will take you out the back, through the kitchen.
Okay, so Fiona and Torgrim would follow him.
Mm-hmm. That's a free
to
action.
whatever.
Yeah, you move to the back,
Okay.
and you notice the turf house. As you go through all the rooms, it's quite large. Like this has a long hallway with bedrooms and stuff. And you get to the end, and as he even is going ahead, if you're happy for him to lead you.
Yeah, she would like him to lead you.
Yeah,
Earlier.
he goes to your headset's crackling a bit, but he goes to the back door and he looks out the window and then he says, "It is clear, quickly!" And he unbolts the back door, swings it open, and you notice there's no rodents swarming the back part of this house. So you are, if I can pulse, you're sort of at the back of it here. To the left of you is the chapel, and to the right of you is the barn. So you are at the back of the house.
Okay.
Rain's pelting down.
Okay, so what direction is the place Fiona is supposed to take the sword from?
Snotgard asked you to go to here. He believes that. Tell me if I'm wrong, Snotgard, but I think you asked Fiona to go to the chapel.
Yes. Well, do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Yes, we do hear you. Fantastic.
Nice. Your headset is working. And yes, I was asked to Fiona go to the chapel because she's the most sneaky and the fastest our team member. So she should go there, find Lei for all these stolen artifacts, and she should try to find it as fast as she can.
Okay, so Fiona moved outside and she allowed Offer to lead her out. Does she has any options to do something else but to
yes, good question.
follow him
Now,
until
he's not coming with you. He closes the door and points in the direction of where the chapel is. Unless you want to say anything to him. Looks like he wants to stay with the family.
Oh no, she just motions him a thank you.
Yep. He nods in a almost militaristic way, like a salute sort of thing, as he shuts the door and bolts it and does the shutters. Now, for you, you've had your move action, so you can't make it to the to the chapel unless you want to use your action to run. But keep in mind, Torgrim's not as fast as you, so the chances for him to keep up are not going to be as good. But you can use your action to run, or you can do something else, but you can't make it here as a move action. But what I can tell you as you look there, even though it's dark and it's raining, the chapel is in near distance. You notice rodents swarming everywhere over the turf house, but they are not touching the chapel. They're just going past the chapel. It seems as well they're also covering Snotgard, not covering him, but he's right in the middle of them.
Okay.
Okay.
Fiona is still a little worried about her tiny friend, the best lizard rider ever. She would like to use her action to try and be sneaky about it and prepare to run with Torgrim to the chapel the next turn. So she would like to use her action to become hidden
hidden where you are now?
Well, yeah, as much as she can.
Yeah, she can lay low in the fields. I mean, do you want Torgrim to try to hide as well? Or just you?
Yes, she would. No, she will pull him onto the ground with her.
Yeah, okay.
You know, she understands that she is not as good as her, but she is willing to sacrifice him just in case.
Yep, so hiding is a mind action to find somewhere to hide. So you can make a mind check and we'll see if you can find somewhere.
Okay, so is it 1 die roll or
You've
2
only
die
got
roll?
you've only got 1 dice. You're not skilled in hiding, you're skilled at sneaking around, but that doesn't include hide. Of course you rolled you. That's unbelievable. Okay, so given that it's dark, you only needed 1 success. And you get a hero point back, so work that out. You managed to find a depression or a tuft of shrubs or something that you can get cover behind. And let's see if Torgrim can find on his own, otherwise we can roll to see if there's enough room for both you. So Torgrim can hide on a 1 in 6, so you can roll for Torgrim. No, but I'll let you roll d6. 1 to 3, there's room for both of you. Ah, okay. He hides in your position, so you are both now hidden. All right, so you get into pressure. Now, at this point, and next round you can move to the chapel, no problem. But at this point, I'm going to give you the option because you weren't available when we rolled turn order. Do you want to roll a hero point to re-roll your turn order? You're happy to be at the bottom.
No, it's okay. I'll stay here.
Okay, no worries.
Let's say Fiona have been, you know, a little bit absent-minded.
Okay, no worries. We go back to the top of the order. Flamma, you have this bull charging at you, and you were preparing, so you get 2 dice at the moment to roll your missile, unless you want to use a hero point to make it 3 dice.
I'll use a hero point to make it 3 dice.
Right.
And we'll roll 3 dice, and hopefully it goes well.
Yep, it's a large creature, so you don't want it to get to you. That's 2 successes. So what does your missile look like as it strikes into the bull?
Yeah, so going from Flamma's fire theme, they're like little mini fireballs that they don't have heat or anything, but they do at least kind of act in a way like fire. As once they strike, it kind of goes over and just like not cinches him, but acts like flames and rolls over on his fur and hide.
Yeah, as the sparks and embers hit the bull, first thing you realise is this creature is large, so it's strong. You know that 1 damage isn't going to be enough. Do you want to use a hero point to do 2, or just happy with the 1?
I'll use a hero point to do 2.
All right, I'll mark it as 2 damage. That makes it buck a little bit as it's hitting. You know, it does cause it some distress, definitely. You see like blood sort of trail and a bit of flame and smoke. The rain dissipates it straight away, but it doesn't stop its advance. You know it's going to be on you next round, but you have done 2 points. You can move if you wish, or you can stand your ground. If you move towards Snotgard, you land straight into the mice horde.
Boy, you know what? I'm gonna go in the middle of the mice horde, and if it's still gonna come after me during in this horde, at least maybe it'll get slowed down a bit.
Oh, that's good tactics. Well, sort of good tactics. As you run into the horde, you may have to make another defend roll. There's a lot of them, so your gut feeling is it's going to be very hard to dodge this horde. At the moment, you can choose to dodge, which is 1 dice, or block with 2 dice if you've got a shield.
I do not have a shield, so I'm gonna have to dodge.
Do you want to use a hero point to roll 2 dice, or just do the 1 dice?
Yeah, I'll do 2 dice.
Okay, take off your hero point. You can see Snotgard fending them off by swinging his blades around, chopping some and knocking some away. Oh my god! Are you kidding me? 2 successes, come on, how? Give me a chance,
It is
folks.
my night.
Give me a chance. All right, well, these mice, for some reason, aren't able to overwhelm both you and Snotgard. So you swing your staff around and do a bit of a dance, a goblin dance to dodge and weave, and they don't do any damage. Yes, they are biting you and scratching you and climbing on you, but they're not doing enough damage. You're able to flick them off as that occurs. All right, so that is your turn, and your move was into the horde. Okay, good work. All right, next in the order is... Who's next after Flamma? Snotgard!
Okay, so Snotgard is dancing Goblin Polka with Flamma. Yes, it's a bear dance, obviously. Okay, he thinks that trying to fight this rodent sea is not very wise decision because there are many, and Snotgard bite one. So he will try to do something fun, and can he possibly guide this rodent wave towards the bull and the zombie guy? So basically, Snotgard want to do some chaos.
How do you want to lure them away? It looks as though they're only going between the cow patch and the turf house, not south to where the vegetable patch is. How are you going to try to lure them there? Are you just going to hope they follow you?
Oh, look, they really want to eat me. So he will hurt himself a bit to get some blood.
Oh.
So they will follow. So they will follow him with more enthusiasm.
Okay. How much points of damage do you want to do to yourself?
Let's see. I think 1 point of damage. I don't have too much stamina. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
You now. The bull is currently moving. It looks like it's trying to chase Flamma that disappears in the mouse horde. The creature looks like it's heading straight from the building. When you move into this area, are you happy to move directly in front of one of them, or just in between both of them and hope that the horde follows you?
Look, if we will look at the picture and the map, yeah, I want to move like from here to here. So first of all, I will confuse the bull. I don't think the bull is smart enough, and I don't think he is expecting so many rodents at his way.
Yep.
And then I will go here and try to not kill, but slow a bit this dead guy.
Yep. You're in his line. But if you succeed, the rats might actually also go into that area. Okay, fair enough. You injure yourself and move out of the area. And let's see who is next in the order. So Snotgard, Edicor. Okay, this is good timing. All right, so first of all, the rodents. You draw some blood, 1 point of damage. There's a 1 in 6 chance that the rodents swarm and follow you with the taste of blood. Or with the promise of blood. Roll a d6.
I'm not that tasty.
You might be. It looks like they're not of their own will, though. Okay, you draw some droplets. Some of the rodents do remain with you. Okay, not that they can damage you or anything, but to roleplayer, what happens is, say some of the rodents do, like, you put the blood and flick it on a few of them, and they sort of like, sort of their senses sort of go crazy because there's blood. Some of them follow you, but then they hear the twittering or whatever mice rodents do, the chirping or twittering of other rodents in the horde, and they go back to the horde and they concentrate on trying to get into the building. It looks like that's their main objective. So unfortunately the blood rouse wasn't enough with 1 drop of blood to get them to follow you. So because they're still attacking Flamma, who's right in the middle of it. So Flamma, you need to make another defend roll against the mice, the rodent horde.
Flamma the Slamma.
You can either use 1 dice or use a hero point for 2 dice.
Using their hero point for 2 dice.
Surely this time. Surely.
Just
One success. You happy with that? Happy you can be, I guess. Yeah, as happy as you can be. Alright, the mice swarm over you, and you need to roll a d6. On a 1 to 3, you're swarmed, but no damage. Now, swarm means that you can't move. They're like knocking you over and covering you. If you roll 4 to 6, you get 1 damage. So roll a d6. 4 to 6 is 1 damage.
Ah, yeah, I did damage.
Okay, they start biting and scratching you. Now, you're a wizard. You have a natural aura of protection. You can roll a d6, and if you succeed, you don't get damage from the bites. So it's a spell check. You don't get a hero point. It's just an automatic spell that goes off when you get physical damage. As long as you don't roll a 1, your aura keeps them at bay. Alright, as they try and bite you, what does your aura look like? What's stopping them from biting you? Because it automatically activates.
So yeah, the aura is essentially like an aura of a flame, sort of like, you know, in the Dragon Ball Z cartoons, just like a aura of like, kind of like this fire that goes over her, and it's just like flickering and like just kind of like dispelling or like forcing the mice to like just get off of her.
Okay.
It's not like flammable or anything like that, though. It gives off really no heat, but it just has that look that just warns them to get off.
No worries. You can also roll for the turf house because they're trying to get in. The lower the better on a d6.
All right,
This is for the swarm. Oh, they seem to be covering the house, but you don't hear any screams or anything from inside, suggesting that they have not been able to penetrate the turf house yet. So that is good. All right. The raging bull, seemingly not of its own mind, charges into the rodent horde. The rodents automatically engulf it for 1 point of damage as they start biting, gnawing, and scratching it. So its damage goes up to 3 automatically. It's too large to be stopped from charging, and now you have to dodge the bull attack. So you can either roll 1 dice, or you can use a hero point to roll 2 dice. You're not too sure how skillful it is. It's the first time you've had to avoid it.
Alright, well, we're definitely going to 2 dice, so rolling it. Oh boy.
You want to use a hero point to re-roll? Otherwise it's definitely hit you with its horns.
Yeah, I'll definitely use hero point to reroll.
Alright. Flamma's in trouble here, folks. Flamma is in trouble. Well, we've got 1 success. You don't get hero points to defend, but you happy with the 1 success?
Yeah, I'll just take the 1 success.
Okay, you move to the side. Luckily you weren't engulfed by the swarm on that previous round, and with 1 success and this bull going through, let's have a look at it. It doesn't hit you. It goes past you like a bullfighter. Woo! Moves past you deep into the horde, disappears into the rodents. Whoa, lucky you dodged that. And lucky you only need 1 success against it. Well done, well done. Last but not least, the Draugr, which is the Norse term for undead, I believe. Let's have a look. The Draugr. You hear it say, "You fool, you stand in the way." And it's talking to Snotgard. And its mouth isn't moving when it's doing this. Okay, there's something that's possessing it or speaking for it. It says, "You fool."
Can I say something?
Yeah?
Snotgard wants to... He can't parley, but... because it's not his turn. But he can say, "Oh, please, just wait a bit. We have almost retrieved your thing. So if you wait here for just 10 more minutes, you will have your thing without any fight."
Yeah, you call out that you're there to help it as well, but your pronouncements are drowned out by the bellowing roar of this feminine malice. "You dare stand in the way of Ediko's vengeance," and it attacks you. All right, so you can either now what is it doing? Let me see. Actually, you need to roll a d6, and I'll tell you the type of attack. Actually, roll 2d6 for me. A 1 and a 3. Okay, it gets 2 attacks at you. The first attack, it comes down like the Hulk would with its 2 fists to try to slam you like a nail into the ground. Do you want to dodge? Or you can only dodge. So you can choose, you only get 1 dice to dodge unless you use your hero point for 2. So it's using its...
Hero point and...
Yep, it's a might action. Oh, you gotta be joking. Are you telling me you just got 2 successes? You did 2. Alright, its first attack, you managed to do like a commando roll or something, and when its fists hit the ground, even though it looks large and you'd think, oh, this thing must be like a lumbering, it moves at lightning pace. So its hands like come down as if they're controlled by some other force, because you're like, no, you can't move that quick, man. And its fists hit the ground sort of shudders, and you know, bits of vegetables and cabbages fly up and into the air. Its second attack, which is at you as well, it tries to grapple you. Alright, do you want to, well, you only can dodge, you want to use a hero point or only get 1 dice? And remember, it's moving at some supernatural speed.
Yes, 2 die.
Okay, use a hero point and let's roll. Oh, only 1 success this time. Take that or re-roll with a hero point?
No, I'll take it.
Okay, it manages to grab you at least with 1 arm. And with that grip, it does 1 point of damage and you are grappled by one of its arms. So in the turn order, I'm going to note that you have been grappled. Snotgard. Grappled, and 1 point damage as well to you from its strength. Its crushing strength. That's the end of its turn. But the good thing is you've stopped it from attacking. And I'll actually even add...
my plan.
Yep, I'll actually even add, you hear this guttural, you know, like a warrior's voice say, "Finally, someone stands to face Adakor in battle." So you're like, "Ooh, hello, that's a voice I haven't heard before," but it almost seems to be filled with glee and satisfaction that you have stood before it. Alright, that finishes that turn. The family, they're inside cowering, but they aren't under any threat. Fiona, from the hiding place, you see all this go. You don't see what's happening to Snotgard, but you can see the bull, you can see Flamma, and you can see the rodent horde engulfing the turf house.
Okay, so Fiona would hesitate a tiny bit. She feels as if everybody needs her at this moment, but she decides to trust her friend and her senses. So she would run at all of her speed, still trying to be, you know, the least noticeable possible, up to the chapel. She would try to open the door to there and to find the sword.
So you move to the chapel, and like I mentioned, you can get to that in this round as a standard action. And as you get to the chapel, the horde is everywhere around. It's like you see the horde of rodents all over the grounds, but around the chapel, they're almost... You can see them heading towards the chapel, wanting to go there, and then like being rebounded off. Like when they get too close, they either sense something or something stopping them from going towards it. This allows you to get to the front door, and you can enter all as part of your move action.
Yes, she would like to enter.
No worries. As you enter, I'm just going to make this... Whoa! I lost track of my thing there. I'm just going to move it over here, just so you know that it is around. Okay, as you get inside, I'll reveal a picture for you. And you open up the door as out of the rain. Do you want to close the door behind you or leave it open? What's your thoughts with that?
I want to... is Togrim with me? Can
yes,
she...
he moves as a free action. He moves as a free action too.
Okay, so I would like for both of us, for Fiona and Togrin, to enter the chapel and close the door behind.
Nice. I'll pulse the picture that I'm about to describe. You can see my pulse. So inside this small temple, you see some statues, or stone shrines, and offerings seemingly placed at the feet. So perhaps two gods that the family worships, but you don't see anyone else. It is empty. There is a fire burning inside, apparently, according to this picture. I'll say that it's burning. And yeah, what do you want to do? So remember, you haven't done an action yet, you've just done a move. So you're inside, the door's closed. There is no lock on the door. So Torgrim just says, I'll hold the door. Hold door. He does like the hold door from Game of Thrones.
Okay, yeah, she would allow him to hold the door, and she would start looking for, well, for the sword thing that she is trying to find.
No problem.
Can she, locate it, or
so just for
what is the best
clarity,
way to
not
describe?
clarity, but I want to give Snotgard an opportunity to explain what he asked you to do in there, in case it was something different. Snotgard?
Oh yeah, so we have information that there is a young boy, teenager, moody teenager. His name was Leifar, something like this. Who, by judging of Snotgard, stole something from, I think, a tomb, grave, or something. And as I remember right, it was a sword. And Snotgard asked you to find this boy, but better find this sword to return it to this necro guy. So just to find the cool shiny sword, and if you can find a moody teenager with this sword, it will be awesome.
Okay. So Fiona is prioritizing looking for some sort of old artifact-like sword. Basically, there shouldn't be any swords at the chapel at all, so I think any would do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's no sword obvious. There's definitely no weapons obvious. But you can make a detect roll to have a search in case it's hidden somewhere or the boy is hiding somewhere.
Okay, yes. So
you can use a hero point if you want for 2 or otherwise 1.
Actually, Torgrim is skilled in detecting things. So she would switch with Torgrim and she would hold the door so nobody enters, and she would ask Torgrim to take a better look at the chapel and look for the sword.
Okay, you can still do an action
Or
yourself
a boy,
if he fails.
whichever.
Yeah, so roll 2 dice. He needs to get a 1 on one of those dice. Okay, he starts looking at the shrine, perhaps a secret panel, or like touching the wood, and he looks at you and sort of shakes his head that he doesn't see. I mean, he keeps looking, but immediately he goes to where he thinks would be places where a sword or something could be hidden. So it's back to your action. Not find anything, my beauty.
Okay, so Fiona would try and look as well. Maybe something
for 2
would.
dice or just 1 dice? The mind check.
She would use her point for 2 dice, just in case.
Okay, let's go.
Sounds important. Oh,
Whoa, 2 successes. Of course you get 2 successes. You get a hero point back. And as you are looking, you think, hang on, those little tables and chairs look like something could possibly be under them. And when you look, what do you see? You see a boy. Seemingly hiding underneath, and I've revealed him there. So as you see him, you see he has a small dagger in his hand. He doesn't try to attack you or anything like that, but he's holding a dagger and he's trembling, not only from being wet, so perhaps he's the one that lit the fire to try to get some warmth, but he says to you, "Stay back! What are you?" He looks even like he's scared and also frightened at your beauty for some reason, which seems strange.
Okay, can I talk to him, or is it for the next?
You can talk as a free action, yes.
Fantastic. So, oh, hi, I'm Fiona. I came here to actually help the farm. It looks like something were missing from the tombs, and it must be some sort of sword or maybe a dagger.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I did not steal the sword. I've told Mom it was Ulfa. Ulfa did it. I have seen Ulfa do things. He is not an honest man. I've seen scars on his body. You must believe me. I've been praying here, hiding. I am fearful. I am trying to pray to the gods to free us from this darkness. It wasn't me. I did not steal it from the cairn. I do not know. Please, you must believe me.
Okay, it actually doesn't matter. And the dagger that you have, where did you get it?
You see the dagger, when you look at it, it's like a kitchen implement. So you have a bit of a look at it, but you will know that as you've started conversation, the next round at your turn, you'll be able to make a parlay roll to see if you can observe any inconsistencies or perhaps coax him to tell you the truth. But at this point, he's saying it's Ulfa and he's just scared and praying for the gods. As we go back to the top of the turn order, which is Flamma.
Okay, well, Flamma, realizing that her plan did somewhat work, does want to get out of the swarm, and is going to do so, and is going to start heading towards the house.
Yes, you can easily, because the swarm didn't overwhelm you, you step on them, squelching them, keeping them at bay as they're sort of crazily going over you. But it seems clear that they're only engulfing you because you're in their path from the kale patch to the turf house. Once you move to the shrine, which you can move yourself now, no problem, you realize the shrine, probably a near distance around the shrine, the rodents aren't going near. There's something stopping them from getting closer. So you can move yourself there as a free action if you want.
Yeah, let me go over and head towards the shrine.
You can go in if you wish.
I'm gonna go in, and I assume I see the scene of the whole,
You do. No one is holding the door closed, but as you enter, you see Fiona talking to a boy underneath a table, and you see Torgrim next to the shrine. You just sort of catch him unawares as his hands are in an inappropriate place on the shrine, and then he looks at you sort of like, No, I did not mean that.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, this place is at least kind of protected. We might have to get the family in here because, I don't think they're safe at the house. Oh boy. She'll then go over and just look at Fiona and go how did you guys get here? So I don't think she saw them coming from the front door, did she?
Nope. Oh, you do remember Snotgard hatching a plan about Fiona getting there, but you never saw her get there. She seems to be questioning the boy.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna ask Torgrim, because she's currently talking with the boy. How did you guys get here?
Oh, I followed the great Fiona, sneaking through the shrubs. We made our way out of the house. All that time, she remained in the glory, bathed by the moonlight, even though there is darkness. For she has such beauty. She got us here. She is a great sneaking agent of heroism. I will foretell it in the beauty parlors when we return to the city.
I should have boyfriend like you. Alright, okay. You know what? It's fine. It's fine, though. At least we know this place is protected. And, she is gonna go over and go next to Fiona I guess, next to the kind of seeing this boy and go like, okay, you didn't steal a sword, did you?
He says, I tell you, I did not take the sword from the can. I believe it was Ulfa. You must believe me. I would not do such a thing. I have a heritage, a proud heritage. My father was a warrior. I am an ancestor of warriors. Now, you can use parlay to determine what's going on here. He's waving this little knife around. He does look scared, genuinely, but he seems to be babbling a rehearsed speech. He keeps saying the same thing over and over, blaming Ulfa, saying that he wouldn't do it. Ulfa's he's not the man he says he is. So, do you have parlay? And if not, you can make a mind roll, because you're pretty perceptive of these sort of things.
Yeah.
But if you want guaranteed success, I think you will need a hero point. Or you can do something else.
You know what? Sure. We'll parlay, and then we'll go over and roll the 2d6 and see what we can glean from him. So, let's go. So I have a sneaking suspicion, considering none of them mice are getting here. Oh, nope, I did not click on that properly.
2 successes, and you get a hero point back. First of all, there's 2 things. First of all, you know he's lying. You can tell this is a rehearsed speech. You know, if anyone was looking guilty, it's this guy. And he's probably in here because A, it's protected, and B, it's like he's praying for forgiveness. So you realise he is lying, but he is no threat to you. So it's all bravado. The only thing that probably is telling the truth is when he speaks about his ancestry and that his father was a great warrior, which doesn't quite match with what you've seen of the person in the house. And I will give you one extra thing, that although all of the family look, apart from Ulfa, obviously, because he's a farmman, all the family do look related. This kid doesn't even look like he's part of the family. It looks.
Right. I was gonna ask. So, seeing like her age, does it kind of match up with, like, I mean, I'm a goblin, but you know, I've seen human families. Does it kind of match up that, like, she would have like a kid by her age? Or at least kids that young by her age? It might be just the art, but
it is. You know that for humans it is possible. I mean, perhaps she looks older than her years. There's a lot at play, but without, you know, making a roll, I can say that it is possible.
It is possible. Okay. Yeah. All right then. I guess the last thing Flamma is going to do, we can go like, all right, kid, let's be honest here. The house is surrounded by rats. If you have any information,
you look surprised.
We need your help, please.
He drops the knife and puts his hands over his face. You are the ones that was sent from, I can't remember the guy's name. You are the ones that he sent. the guy who hired you, I forgot his name.
Yeah.
He says, yes, it was me. Because my father told me that I was destined for greatness, that I am a descendant of the great warrior Erikr. So yes, I stole into his cairn and I took the blade, but I did not know it would be cursed. You have to believe me, I did not know it would bring this upon my family.
Okay, it's fine. Just tell me where the blade is.
I buried it in the current grove before it was struck by the lightning. All of a sudden I found my Norse accent again.
Oh boy. That's far from here. Okay, alright then.
Please forgive me.
Oh, God.
I have been praying the gods to forgive me for my act.
Okay. Right. She's just gonna look to Fiona and go like, you can get there faster than I can. I need to get the family out of the house.
Alright, having said that, we move to Snotgard. Snotgard, you are in the grip of one mighty tree trunk of an arm that's wrapped around you, squashing you. Well, what would you like to do? Or try and do, I should say.
If you allow me, this guy is a rotting corpse. Am I right?
He smells like death.
No, I'm speaking about the state of his body.
Yes, it is.
Yes, so I want to use his using only one arm, and he's just grappling me with this arm. So I want to use both of my free arms with my free blades, and I want to section to attempt to cut out this arm to set myself free.
So with the grapple. The grapple costs you 1 dice, so we'll assume that it's sort of blocking one of your arms, but you can still have one arm free. That means instead of 2 dice for two-handed weapons, you get 1 dice, unless you use a hero point to bring it back to 2 dice. But it does seem like he's pretty easy to hit.
Okay,
so it's up to you.
Oh,
All right,
only
so
one.
use the hero point. You only got 1 success. You happy with that, or use another hero point to reroll?
Is it enough to cut down the arm? I don't want to actually harm it. I want just to escape.
Yeah, it looks like it would be enough to hit the arm, but whether it's enough force to make it release its grapple, only 2 successes will do that. But you can try. 1 might be enough, you don't know. But 2 is definitely success. It's up to you whether you want to take...
I will take a risk.
Take a risk? Alright. You bring that one blade up and slice its arm. Now, in doing that, you do 1 damage as you see bits of the flesh and like a black ichor, suggesting that it does have some sort of life force flowing through it. It spills to the field, so it does 1 damage, and one success is enough for it to release its grip. So that tells you that this target, even though offensively it is very hard to dodge, so it is being impelled by something and it's hard when it comes to you defending, to hit it is not hard. It is a standard action, so keep that in mind for when you attack it again if you do. But anyway, you release the grapple as part of your action. You get a free move if you want to go somewhere.
Yes, I'm going behind his back and I'm trying to lure him as far as I can from the house.
Where
so
are you?
I'm still stalling him. Yep.
What happened to your token?
Here. Don't you see it?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yeah, you want to lure him away from the house. Okay, no problem at all. As you turn...
So I want to say for that, I will also say, hey, get at me if you're not a coward.
Ooh, all right.
Because I suppose that he's a warrior, and no warrior can ignore that.
You hear inside him, he's conflicted, and you hear a voice saying, "The blade, Erika. You have been brought forward to this world for the blade." And he says, "I am a berserker, a fighter's old. I will not turn down a challenge." Ah! He turns around and charges you. You need to defend his attack as it's his turn, but you have managed to turn him away from the house. But in doing so, you become the eye of his wrath. You can dodge or block. You know it needs 2 successes. Oh, hang on, before you roll...
Dodge.
Sorry, before you roll, I have to roll what type of attack he does, sorry. Roll 2 dice, and we'll see what he's going to try and do this time. A 2 and a 3. Well, I know 3's... he tries to... Okay, the first attack, he tries again to grapple you. Come here, little worm. He's very quick in melee.
I will burn 1 additional hero point to make it.
You're a brave man, Snotgard. You're a brave man. A brave goblin, I should say. Alright, you're pretty good at dodging with a hero point. Oh no. You want to re-roll? Otherwise he's got ya.
It's my last hero point, so no.
Oh, no,
think
right,
I'm
really?
half.
Oh shit.
I half dodged.
Alright, well first of all, again he grabs you and he says, "You cannot run from Erikor. and he grabs you, does 1 damage, puts you back into the grapple, and then with his second attack, you feel his vice grip start squeezing on you. You can try. At the moment, you've got no dice to grapple to stop him from squashing you. It will cost you 2 hero. You can only do 1 hero point, so forget it. You can't even.
I have last hero point.
You can't even. Well, okay. If you want, I'll let you. Well, so far, let's do one thing at a time. You do the 1 damage from the grapple.
Yep.
Okay, so now in his second attack, he tries to crush you. Now that requires a hard dodge, which you can't. Oh no, you can do. You got 1 hero point left, you said.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
The last
roll it.
one.
And I'll tell you, if you do not succeed this, he crushes you for 2 damage. I don't know. Is that going to kill you? That will mean you start
Yes,
dying.
it.
You need
Okay.
to. You need to succeed this roll. Oh my god. Oh my god. Come on, now I want you to succeed. Turn
Not
quickly on you.
Snotgard. You was a very nice character. No, he was.
Well, it's 2 dice, but 5 is a fail anyway, so it doesn't matter what the second dice is. All right, you try to grab his, hand to stop it from squeezing you, but you are now on 0 stamina. As his other hand wraps around you, he grabs your throat and you fall into unconsciousness. Now, with it means that he is crushing you. You will end up dying unless someone comes to your aid. So this is going to be very interesting as things go black. So your last word, because you haven't done any action with Judging Tom, do you want to call for Judging Tom? Could he be the one to maybe help you? I don't know.
Judging Tom, don't think he probably can do it. Put some herbs into my mouth, but I'm not sure. He is very
Nothing's
smart, but
impossible.
not that smart.
Well, look, he's got a 1 in 6 chance
Okay,
of helping you, but what the hell?
I think Judging Tom will sense that his friend in the danger, and he will rush right through the wall because he's very big and strong.
Okay, I'm going to say that he doesn't have like an ability to sense that, but I'll say if you call out Tom, like as your last breath before you go into unconsciousness, the sound of your bones sort of cracking, you call out Tom, and yes, do you want him to just charge a hole through the turf house? A dramatic
Yes.
effect. All right, he bursts through the turf house. The rodents immediately try and swarm him. There's a 1 in 6 chance they can hurt him because he's large. So roll a d6. If you roll a 1, he gets bitten for 1 point damage as he bursts through. No, he bursts through the horde, and Cartler yells, "No, Tom, don't!" And Ulfa says, "The stupid creature has made a hole!" And all the rodents start pouring in as Judging Tom charges. He can't get there this turn, but he can move there. Next round he'll be there, and then we'll see what he does. As we go to the next person, as things are getting really dramatic all of a sudden here. More than they were, I thought. But the next person after Snotgard is... Erica has done his turn, which was the crushing. Oh, now I've got to do the... Sorry, still Erica's turn. The rodents, well, I don't need to roll for them because they are now have a way in. I'll get you to roll... Flamma. This is for the rodents. You want to roll as low as possible. Rolling high means they get to the family before the family can react. So you need to roll 1 to 4. As they start pouring into the house.
Oh no.
No, alright, so that tells me they do start... Okay, what happens? Ulfa ushers them into another room, locks the door, and says, "Bjorg, you have taken me in as one of your own. Let me repay you, and I will see you in the afterlife." And he shuts them into a strong room, and he charges the rats as they start gnawing and biting him. You can roll a d6 for Ulfa. If you roll 4 to 6, that's very bad. 1 to 3, he's able to at least do something to keep him at bay and score some hits. You can roll for him, Flamma. Try and get 1 to 3 for his benefit. Oh, he does keep them at bay. He puts like a torch into the fire. Stay back, you foul creatures! Well done. Wow! He keeps them at bay. You've got a new adventurer joining. The last thing is the bull. Now the bull is still under control. Does it have any targets? No, it doesn't. Everyone is inside. Okay, the bull is just waiting. Actually, I will say that it attacks the rodents. So it tramples some of them. And it does get an extra point damage as it remains in the field. It is bad. Its body is getting shredded by... It's just swarmed. It's like an ox bull covered with a wreathing mass of rodents. It's quite a horrible sight as it's getting eaten alive, but still something controlling it to try to attack and be furious. All right, the family are hiding. Fiona, you're up. You've heard the story from Flamma's interrogation.
Okay, so she definitely heard it. She been actually listening and paying attention. She would turn around and she would do exactly as Flamma told her, and she would return. So she's coming back to the house. Is it just a move or a move and an action?
Before you do move back to the house, I can get Flamma to re-explain.
Yeah, because I was saying for Fiona to go over and go to the point to go over to the red current grove, because that's where he said he hid the sword, and Fiona is faster than Flamma.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So, actually, I have no idea where the grove is. I probably
I can
missed
ping.
it. Yeah, but she would go.
There.
Okay, there. So she has all the rodents between them. Okay, so.
You also hear...
By the look of it...
I'll just let you know as well, you also, so it's all clear, you also hear amongst the sound of the pelting rain on the roof, Tom! A yell out, which you can tell is Snotgard's voice. If that
Yeah,
means anything.
she will ignore Snotgard as she normally does in such situations. Like, he's a big boy. But anyways, okay, so Fiona would like to leave the chapel. She would actually take a look at Snotgard. And does she see Tom approaching?
No, all you can see at that distance is the pouring rain in darkness pelting down. Maybe you see some shadows of there's something going on there, but there's no light that is actually helping you. Even the red currant grove, which they've mentioned to go to, is in darkness. The only thing you can see is the turf house, the kale patch, and a swarm of rodents that you would have to run across. So it is possible for you to reach the grove, even though you can't see it. You did see it when you entered the farm, so you know the direction of it, but you'd have to run across the rodents. It would require a might check to make it there in that action, but then the rodents you would have to see if the rodents damage you or stop you from running through them. So you could do a mad dash through them.
Fiona would do a crazy dash, and she really hopes she would not get bitten by the rodents.
Okay.
Mostly because of my little scar, you know.
Torgrim says, what do you want me to do, my beauty?
Oh, go and check up on Snotgard. I heard him calling his best friend, which is not you, but his lizard, but anyways.
Oh, you want him to go? Righto. He seems a bit scared, but he doesn't show it to you. He says, I can run towards the yells, but there are a lot of rats out there. Is it better I look after Leafa?
Leafa's fine in here. I'll go with you.
Oh, they're fine with Flamma.
Okay, he delays his action to move whatever Flamma does when it's his turn next. Alright, Fiona, let's do your roll. First of all, you need to make a, don't roll anything yet. The first thing is you can move your token straight into the swarm. So I will say, as your move action, you make it to the swarm. Let's see if they stop you from advancing. You can either dodge or block. So what do you have as defending yourself? What equipment? You've got,
As far
you've got a
as I
sword and
remember, I
shield.
have a shield.
Okay, roll 2
Yeah,
dice.
But she would try to.
To block them. Yep, you don't get a hero point, but as you run through them and trudge, you can't help but trudge over them. Some of them try to bite you, but the speed of your movement and the fact that when the ones that do try and climb up, you manage to swat them with either your sword or your shield, you manage to get through the swarm without getting damaged. But now you need to make a might check that you're able to make it to the grove in this action. It's only 1 dice, unless you want to use a hero point to roll 2, and you need to roll might check.
She would like to use her hero point for 2 dice.
Oh! You don't make it out of the swarm unless you want to use a hero point to roll another one. You only need 1 success. Yep, she's
She
going
will
for
try
it.
to do that.
Yeah, you have to roll both dice, don't forget, when you roll. But that is still a success. Yep, you only needed 1 success. So you can move yourself to the grove now. But essentially, I'll reveal the picture. You're in darkness, but you can make out the shapes of the burnt grove, which look like this. So you're just in a muddy patch, which is that picture there. But you made it there. All right, let's go to the next person. Back to the top of the order. And the top of the order, I believe, is Flamma.
Well, Flamma is going to go over and then get out. I assume that when she goes over and gets out of the chapel, that she sees that there's now a hole in the wall that they're going through.
The hole is on the south side of the turf house, so you don't see the hole.
Okay.
But you do
so I
see
don't see
all
that.
of the rats, instead of like jumping all over the turf house, they seem to be streaming to the south. So
Yeah, I ain't liking that. Okay.
Torgrim
Right, so
says,
I'm
Torgrim
going...
says we can get to the house via the back door.
Thank you. She's gonna head towards there and try to get through.
Leafa says, what of me?
Just stay in here. You're protected by your gods. They never came out, so stay safe here and make amends through prayer.
Please
Something
do
like
not,
that.
please do not tell Bjorg that I was the one that stole it. It would discredit me and my family.
Look, you are a kid, but you need to make amends on your own. I'm not gonna say anything, but
Thank you.
one day or someday you need to say it yourself. And she will
Thank
go
you.
over and, put I feel like this kid is probably taller than her, so she'll just put a hand on his shoulder and then make her way towards the house.
He says that I was always taught by my father that goblins were evil, but now I know that that was wrong too.
Thank you. And she'll just give a thumbs up. And
As you move to the house with Torgrim, there is no danger at the rear of the house. Torgrim points to a tuft of bush and says, that is where I hid with Fiona. It gives you that information for some reason. Not too sure. But as you get to the door, unfortunately you realise that it is locked. Although you do hear a lot of chittering towards the south side of the building.
Yeah. I guess she's gonna go over and she's gonna peer over the south side. I
Yes.
assume she's seeing streams of the rats coming through there.
Yes, you can see the rats, and you don't have any dark see your spell left, but because you've got your natural dark see, you can see Judging Tom charging towards the vegetable patch where there's 2 shadows, well maybe 1 big shadow. So Judging Tom seems that he's been the one that burst a hole through here. But yes, all the rodents are gushing into this gap, and you hear someone yelling in there saying, Stay back, you vile creatures! I shall not let you harm Bjorg's family! And you see a light sort of going back and forth.
Yeah, she's gonna go over and like start heading towards there, and she's gonna try to see what she can make out, because she's gonna try to help Ulfmir as best she can.
Yeah, so with your move action, that was enough to get to the building. You know that you can't get into the building without crossing the swarm unless you've got another way to get in. So just know that.
Right.
Yeah. Now, because you haven't done an action, you can still do an action if you wish, if there's some action you want to perform, because Torgrim's just following you. Otherwise, you've just made it to the house.
Yeah, I think, no, I can't do it.
Roll a dice for Torgrim. If you roll a 1, or Fiona, you can roll this, Torgrim just bursts through the rear door. Yeah, roll 1 dice for Torgrim. He tries to burst through the door. Nah.
Ooh.
He just tells you, he rubs his shoulder and says, the door's locked. And it's heavy as well.
Okay. I'm gonna ask this. So, teleport. How many rounds does the previous edition visited spot have to be?
You can teleport to any area you've been to within far distance.
Could I teleport inside the house?
100%. 100%. You
Then I'm
can't bring
going to
Torgrim,
ask.
but you can teleport in.
So she's gonna go and go like, I got another way in, and she's going to teleport inside.
He says, what about me? Okay, roll 1 dice as you cast teleport to go inside.
Alright,
It's a mind check.
Oh, please. Mind check.
Yes, as you teleport, do you want to teleport anywhere in particular that you've been, or you've only been in the kitchen, haven't you, with the...
Yeah, I'll probably get in the kitchen then.
Alright, then in that case, I'm going to say you're going to have to roll a random roll, a d6, to see where you land in the kitchen. A 1 is you land side by side with Ulfa. A 6 is you land right in the middle of the swarm. If you roll between that, you're on the periphery, but not in any danger.
Okay, so then we'll go for this.
Okay, you don't land next to Ulfa, but you don't land in the swarm either. You land at the side of the kitchen. You can see Ulfa, he's near the hearth, and he's like got a torch stick that's lit a flame, and he says to you, they are scared of flame, Flamma. But that's your action as you teleport,
Yeah.
inside.
She has a big grin on her face, and she's about to get ready to get her bottle out.
Alright, don't forget you do have a special ability that you gained. I will give you that as a note. Alright, now as we switch to the next person in the order, it is Edikor. Is it? No, it's Snotgard. Jeez, I'm glad I didn't miss this. I was thinking that means that's bad. Alright, Snotgard, you are unconscious, so it is up to your friend, Judging Tom. Now let's have a look. Judging Tom... Okay, so does he have... He sees you're in distress. Okay, sees you're in distress. Talk to me. What do you want him to try and do?
Look, Judging Tom wants to...
You're in trouble.
Okay, so he is big. Yes, Judging Tom is very big. He is at least half a ton, probably more. So he wants to make a ram-like move into this big guy, not to damage him, not to fight him, just to break his balance.
Yes.
Then he wants to take Snotgard, because Snotgard is very small.
Let's
he
stop.
will
Let's stop.
probably...
Let's do one thing at a time, okay? You are being crushed. If he does not free you, you're dead. There's going to be 2 points damage. There's no coming back. So, now, Judging Tom normally has 1 dice, okay? I'll give you an extra dice because he's large and he's charging. And I'll give you an extra dice because he's climbing. So I'll say that he actually jumps on top of this figure. So that means you get 3 dice. You don't have any hero points to add anything extra, I don't believe. So that means you need 1 success, because remember, this creature only needs 1 success to try to do actions to it. So before we have a 5-minute break, and to know whether Snotgard is going to die, roll 3 dice. If one of those is a 1, he knocks you free. You can choose a different number other than 1 if you wish. He's gone! He's done it!
No.
He's done it! Wow, you're still unconscious and you're still dying, like suffocating, but you're not going to die next round. So you'll have time for someone to heal you. Wow. Okay, right at this point, because I need to go do a bio break, we're going to have a 5-minute break and then we will finish off this adventure. So if you can bear with me for 5 minutes, I'll switch to a break and we will be back soon. Alright, we are back, and Snotgard is still with us, at least for one more round, as his body slumps into the mud of the vegetable patch. Still on 0, which means he is dying, so he still needs a healing roll at some point, but it's not urgent, he's not getting crushed. As we move to the enemy's turn, so Erica turns around, lifts, I won't say he fell on the ground, but he definitely released his grip. He turns towards Judging Tom and says, "Ah, finally, something worthy of my vengeance. Come, creature of the night." And you can roll 2 dice, Snotgard, to see what sort of attack he enlists on Judging Tom, your saviour. A 6 and a 3. Oh, I don't think we've had a 6 before. We definitely know what 3 is. But he's going to find it a bit harder against this large thing. Okay, so what's a 6? 6. Okay. You don't see what happens, but Judging Tom, I'll just narrate it to tell you. Judging Tom sees an image of some creature of death assail his mind and starts causing some sort of weakness. It's called like a plague attack. It withers his body, so he has a 1 in 6 chance of resisting this attack. So let's see how he goes. You can roll. If you roll a 1, he resists it.
I doubt so.
Never know.
No.
No. All right, he gets D2 points damage. Well, this is only the first attack. This is gonna be bad. Roll a D6. 1 to 3, 1 point damage. 4 to 6, 2 points damage. Okay, 1 point damage as he gets withered by this plague attack, and the second attack was a 3, so he tries to grapple and crush him. So he only he's large, so you can roll 2 dice. One of those has to be a 1, otherwise he gets grappled for an extra point damage.
Please, no.
No, he gets grappled. That's another point damage. He can't last much of this, but then again, he can always move away. But that's 2 points damage to your friend, Mr. Judging Tom. That's the end of his turn. Let's see what else there is. The bull starts charging again through the rats, charging towards Fiona. It gets 1 point damage as it again charges through the rats as they all swarm. He's already getting eaten anyway, but next round he'll be on you. I'll say that even though you're in full darkness, Fiona, you can see the rats, they start parting like an ocean as this bull charges towards you. For some reason, you don't know, it's basically looking to kill anything it can see, but it doesn't get to you. The rats try to attack the family, but they kept at bay by the flame of Ulfa. However, they changed their target to Flamma, who at this point has just teleported, not in them, but in range of them, and they swarm towards you, and you will need to make, again, a defense roll. You don't have a shield, I don't believe. No, so you've only got 1 dice. If you use a hero point, you can roll 2.
1 dice. So I'm gonna need that. Well,
All
let's see. I do have at least one. Okay, I'll use a hero point and then.
Ooh, okay.
We'll use 2 dice.
Still not good chances. It's a might check. That's 2 fails. That is... Are you going to take that result or try again?
We're gonna take the result though. I need the hero point.
Okay, first of all, they engulf you. So that means you can't move. And you roll a d6. On a 4 to 6, you get 1 point damage as they gnaw on you.
Alright.
Nice. Alright, so you're covered, you're engulfed, but you aren't damaged. So I'll just make a note on your turn order that you are engulfed. So you disappear under a wave of rats, and that's the end of their turn. The family don't do anything because they are one, they're safe in the strong house, and also Leafa isn't doing anything. And we go to Fiona. Oh, this is epic. Fiona, you are in darkness, in the pouring rain, amongst the current grove, or the burnt field that was the current grove, amongst the husks of burnt shrubs, that all that remains. What do you want to do?
Okay, Fiona came here to look for the sword. And even though it's dark, she would still try to do that. She understands the urgency of it.
No worries. So that is a detect roll because you can't see any sword. All you see is like the burnt grove. Do you want to use the hero point to roll 2 dice or just go for the 1 dice as you look around for some sign of where is his sword? I will add, just for not effect, but just so you know, Leaf would have said I buried it in the grove. So you're looking for some sort of area that he could have buried it in. So still the same roll. Do you want to use a hero point for 2 or just go 1?
She would go for 1 because she feels like something wild is approaching her. She might need a hero point.
All right. Oh, you succeeded. Gee, that was risky. I thought you would have used an extra hero point for 2 because that was pretty critical. But with 1 point, what do you see? Even though the ground is burnt and covered in blackened, rotted fruit and burnt tree bits, you do notice a part of the earth that seems to be scorched, perhaps by something that has hit it from above, which is different to the rest of the area. And you notice the ground where that scorch mark is seems to be like churned up and disturbed. So you've done your ability check, but you do get a free action if you want.
Okay, she would like to approach the spot.
You do.
And and she would like to actually, look for the sword, like take it in.
How would you like to do
hands.
that? You want to use your hands to rummage through the scorched earth? See if it's buried there?
Let me see if I have anything. She doesn't actually have anything to do. So yeah, she would like to. Can she, use her shield as some sort of makeshift spade?
100%. All right.
You
use your shield as a scoop so your hands don't touch the perhaps dangerous soil. And as you do remove the top surface, your shield hits a metal item. And you notice this, which I will reveal up here. You see buried underneath the surface, very crudely buried, like it was done in a rush, not like, deep in the ground, just enough to be covered by the soil, is you see a one-handed iron sword. Seems to be ancient, and the hilt is like of a hoof head. It seems like it's had a lot of use, like it's, been in a lot of battles, as there's notches and scratches and that sort of stuff on it. And as soon as you reveal this to the surface, you hear coming from Erica, the Draugr, which is locked in battle with Judging Tom. You hear The blade, in the female voice. The blade! Return it to Erikar so he may rest. So it seems like the creature or whatever's possessing this creature has sensed its presence being revealed. You want to pick it up as your free action, or are you happy to keep it in the ground?
She would like to pick it up, but she would like to possibly spend some extra time and take one of her, spare garments to take it. So she doesn't want to come into direct contact with the sword. She would like
nice.
to use some of her,
Okay, you do that, and you do have the sword in your hand. You can put it on your items of equipment if you want. It's Erica's blade. So in the notes, I don't know if I put his name, but pretty much it's just his name and the word blade. Actually, I'll type it in there. Wow, it's in really big font. There we go. All right, that's the end of... Oh no, you can do a move action if you wish, because that was just revealing...
Oh, fantastic. So she would like to use as much of the movement as she can to move to... Oh, give me a second.
Bang. All right, you start moving with the blade in hand, and I'll say this as well, as you do move closer to the blade, you notice the creature that is Edicor turn towards you, to face you. All right, so he's looking directly at you. Okay, let's go to the next person. In the order, who is... Yeah?
Master, can I also move Torgrin as a part of my turn?
Torgrin is... Yeah, what do you want him to do? He's outside in the rain. He's not too sure what's going on. Just what's his name? Disappeared. But he can't get to you without crossing the rats, because they're in between the cow patch and the turf house. What do you think he'd do?
Can he... Yeah, I think he would, hear the commotion, the side of Judging Tom and Snotgard. Like, Fiona mentioned that she heard some screaming from there. Torgrin heard as well. And since he lost Flamma, and he's like, I don't want to be there alone. I want to be with my beautiful Fiona, or at least with somebody else to, help me to keep on living. So I would like him to move closer to where Judging Tom is.
Well, given that he is also curious, he moves to the barn, which is with some chickens and pigs, to get a closer look at the action. So that's as far as he can go. So he's just in the barn, and he can see Snotgard, the Draugr, and Judging Tom in the vegetable field. So that's where he is at this point. All right, let's go to Flamma. Flamma, you are surrounded by rodents. They are all over you. What do you want to do?
Well, Flamma she has a faith that only her parents could love, as she is doing a very wide grin as she is going to go over and take out the very flammable, let me double check what it's called, just so I don't have this right. Top shelf spirit, and she is going to go over, take it out, and can she break it to spread it all over the rats?
I will say that to perform a normal action, you've currently got a 1 dice penalty, but it's a free action to get the spirit out and smash it or empty it over them, no problem. The trick for you is going to be, are you going to try and light it? Because that'll require an action. But as a free action, we can say that the top shelf spirit has doused a section of the horde. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna go over and do her special thing though, which is let me go over and make sure I get the wording right. Her Flamma Flame.
Nice. I was hoping you remember that. All right.
Yep.
Well done.
So
All
as
right.
she does this,
You can narrate it for me as the rodent swarm is covered in the top shelf alcohol. What happens next?
as she does this, she is going to go over and she's going to do, in a very dramatic fashion, say, reduce all to ash, as she is going to summon her flame, and probably on like just the one rat, and hopefully it catches the rest in flames.
Yes. As you do this, a flame explodes just out of the blue. Ulfa's eyes sort of open wide as he knows the flame is keeping them at bay. It automatically does 1 damage to the horde, which doesn't sound a lot, but first of all, roll a d6. If you roll a 1, this flame is enough that it automatically disperses the rats just from the cause, just from lighting it amongst the horde. So let's see if that works first. So there's a 1 in 6 chance that it... No. Okay, second roll is there's a 1 in 6 chance that even though it didn't disperse it with the explosion, that it does catch fire and light the horde. And actually, because you've got the alcohol, that gives you an extra dice. So roll 2 dice, and if one of them is a 1, even though the initial explosion doesn't do it, it starts catching.
Let's go.
Oh, you guys! All right, well, as this Flamma flame explodes, the first rat just gets immolated, but then the fact of the high shelf alcohol, it licks like a blue flame. All you hear is squealing and crying, and it seems to break a connection between this rat horde and whatever is controlling it. And they don't know what to do. They drop from you straight away. Whatever's remaining, they go in all directions. They don't attack. They're no longer a threat. They're all over the house, but they're no longer a threat. The line that was connected to the cow patch breaks, and slowly but surely, the rodent swarm dissipates. Well done, Flamma. Well
Laughing her ass off, though, going like, yes, burn everything.
Burn! All right, Snotgard's out. Snotgard, you've still got Judging Tom. What do you think he would do, knowing that the creature's not attacking him anymore? The creature is looking towards Fiona, who's running across the fields like Sound of Music through the rain.
Very fast, catch Snotgard into his mouth and rush into the house.
Nice. You rush through the hole that you made from the wall to the safety of inside Ulfa, and for some reason all the rats have just, whatever's left of them are just burning and crisping, but they're just like milling about as if they're confused. What are they doing in the middle of this house? So for dramatic effect, is someone in this house, let's have a look. Do you have a healing potion? Let's just start with that.
Snotgard,
That's it.
A healing kit
Snotgard
is...
has a lot of healing herbs on him.
Okay, let's have a look. Hold on. Healing herbs need a roll. So I'm just seeing if you've got potion, because potion is automatic. No, so you've got the healing herbs. What the hell's a leech elixir? I don't know what that even is.
You gave me it. I don't know what is it. You said you will
You've got 2 of them.
say what it does.
Oh god.
Yes, I think it was from
Oh, yeah, it's from Maya
Several
Haven's
would-
Curse, but I don't know what it does.
Oh yes. It's very yes.
Well, it's not going to help here because we don't even know what it does. What about Flammabelle? What have you got? You've got the
Just the
healing kit,
healing
which is a
kit.
mine rolls, which you could do on your turn. So it looks like it is going to come down to a roll because there's no automatic potion unless there's one on... I'm just checking everyone's character sheet. So, no, okay, it will come down to a roll. So you get brought to safety, and on... well, Flamma's pretty good. On Flamma's roll, on her turn, she'll get the roll to see if she can bring you back to life. So that ends your turn. As we go to Ericur, he moves forward towards Fiona, hand outstretched, the voice of the possessed goddess of death saying, "Hand it over, Orc. Do not be a fool and try and use it against the warrior Ericur." So that's her turn. The Raging Bull no longer attacks, knowing that the sword is going to be released, and it's basically licking its wounds because it's virtually near death. It's been mauled to death by the rodents. So essentially, let's skip those turns. The family comes out of their hiding. They hug Ulfa, but then they say to you straight away, Cutler says, "Where is Lifa? Tell me he's still alive." And she looks at both Torgrin and Flamma when she says this.
He's safe in the shrine, in the chapel. They couldn't touch it, so he should be fine.
She hugs you with all her might as Bjorg says, "But what of the threat? Are we safe?"
I'd have to check outside, but I need to look over my friend first.
Alright, you won't make the roll until your turn, so we go to the last of the round, which is Fiona. Fiona, you have the sword wrapped in some of your garments and the outstretched arms of this massive creature. It does have a scar on one of its arms, I believe. It was... Did it? I can't remember if it got injured for 1 point, but I'll say it has. Oh yeah, it has. There we go, 1 point. What do you want to do?
Okay, a little technical moment since I have lost a couple of a part of the game due to my technical issues. Does Fiona have any information about what she is supposed to do with the sword? Did they just decide to return the stolen valuable back to the undead, and they think it would resolve the issue, or they're planning to do something else with the sword?
I will let your adventuring friends provide some more information.
Well, we know that they kind of stopped attacking because they're just waiting on you to return the sword, but whatever they do with the sword, we don't know, but it seems a lot of this was caused because it was taken. That's the context that at least I have.
Snotgard would like to say...
We're not actually talking, we're just, stimulating the memory of Fiona.
And Judging Tom is licking Snotgard to wake up. Trying to get him to wake up. It's all up to you, Fiona.
Okay,
do you want to hand it
so-
over?
Yes, Fiona would like to take a risk, and she would give it to the person, let's say, that way, and she would say, there you go. Just
As you hand it,
leave the family alone. They made a mistake. They're sorry, and they actually asked us to come and help them, and we're doing it by returning to you what is rightfully yours.
Fiona steps in front of this massive undead warrior berserker that has returned from its grave. With great bravery, you decide to unfurl out of your precious garments the sword, and when you do, the fires within the eyes of the Draugr burn bright, and for a minute you think, oh shit, what's it going to do? But it grabs the sword almost gently and lifts it towards up into the air, and then you hear this pronouncement in the female voice of Malice. You have returned Erika's blade. The Draugr can now return to its rest. But let this be a warning to all here now, and those that tell of this day, that there is a warning against disturbing the rest of the dead. And with that, he takes the sword and he heads south. The large figure becoming smaller as he disappears into the darkness, into the unknown, I would just say. You have succeeded in the cursed farm. The cloud that surrounds the farm lifts by retreating back into the stream, which was still a mystery because you never got to investigate that, but it essentially cast you back into light And the rain even itself, as the gods are willing, stops falling just to a pitter-patter as a bit of sun breaks through the cloud. The curse on Bjorg's farm is lifted. Leifa is welcomed back into the family's arms. Ulfa nods to you, you know, perhaps revealing a past where he wasn't just a farmer. And over the following days, the mice abandon the kale field. The cats return to the farmstead. The bullocks gets nursed back to health by Bjorg and Katla, and once again returns to its placid self. Unfortunately, the current grove still remains ruined from a lightning strike that caused the wrath of the gods, but Bjorg does open a jar and finds a few viable seeds that may, with luck, sprout into new shrubs. And as the camera pans away from the family and the farmstead, it focuses on the body inside, muddy, dirty, hardly breathing, heart slowing. Judging Tom looks up to Flammabelle, knowing that, metagame, with her mind, her proficiency, she has the best chance to bring this hero back to life. Flammabelle, we focus on you. You have, I believe, a healing kit. As you get this healing kit ready to use it, it only need, don't roll, I'm going to build this one up, okay? It only needs one success. It's whether you want to roll or you want Snotgard to roll, but you get one dice. It'll be against your mind check, so look, the chances are very good, right? It's you get a mind roll and you get an extra dice because you're prepared, because the threat has gone. So you roll 2 dice. Given that your skill is 2, the only way that Snotgard will die is if a double 1 is rolled. So, would you like to make the roll, or do you give Snotgard the honors?
I will be fine rolling because I still have a hero point left.
Oh, you dodgy, clever goblin. All right, make the roll.
And re-roll. Okay.
One success is all you
Good thing we
needed.
had the two.
Snotgard, your eyes flick open. You take a gasp of breath. You've still got the bruising around your throat as it was crushing your throat. You don't know what's happened. There's a few mice around you.
You're alive! I bring
Is Tom
no
okay?
fire and health. Yes, everyone's okay. I also burned some rats. I am feeling fantastic.
Oh, glad for you. Thank you, of course, but I'm glad Tom is okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I think we solved the issue, so you're
Yes.
everything's good now.
When you're brought back to life, well done, adventurers. You return after. I'll give everyone one round in case there's something you want to interact with the family. But essentially, you'll make your way back to Sigmunda, and having lifted the darkness from the farmstead, and also do an epilogue. So, to tie that all in together, let's first of all roll how much you get paid. So everyone has their own contracts. Roll 2 dice and add 6, and that's how many gold pieces you get. So you can all do that yourselves and add it to your equipment. Someone cleaned up.
Oh.
No, that's not too good. Anyway, it looks like all the money went into the leader of the team. Okay, so you will get paid by Sigmunda those amounts, so you can add it. And I will get Flammabelle. You rolled the lowest there. You can choose a number between 1 and 6, and if you hit that number, one of you at random will achieve a goal or receive an artifact. Otherwise, 1 is the number.
Let's go with 3. Why not? Let's go. Oh, damn.
Close but no cigar. As the curtain closes on this chapter, we can all do an epilogue. You can involve the family in that if you wish. So let's start with Flamma. How do you want to close this session off for Flammabelle?
She is happy that she managed to actually use her Flamma Flame, and is going to
I'm glad you remembered it.
go
To
over.
be honest.
Oh yeah. When I heard fire was their weakness, I was like, "Yep, this is the time." She's gonna go to Hymir and go like, "I'm gonna need some flammable ale."
Oh, okay. Yes, he has a look at his cabinet and he says, oh, he sort of steers away from the top shelf thing, but Bjork says, Hymir, and he sort of nods and he hands you his most potent brew as a gift of thanks. It's a hand-me-down, a hereditary item from the Finnsdeuter, so you can note down, you can give it a name if you want, just make sure Finnsdeuter is in there somewhere. Finndeuter's, is there alcohol that starts with F? I don't know much about alcohol. Finndeuter's gin, or whatever you want to call it. So that essentially replenishes you. And where does Flammabelle head after this?
He does go over, and she does go and talk with Leafa, and goes like, look, even though, and I'm gonna be honest here, you don't look like your family, but regardlessly, you still have to be honest with them one day. You just can't go over and keep this secret to yourself.
Well, what happens with Leafa, he's in much gratitude that you didn't tell them. I mean, the family sits around a meal that they share with you and saying, we do not understand. Who would have buried that? How did it get there? Questions, unknown. What happened? You know, they end up pointing it towards perhaps some bandits did it, because they've had some problem with some bandits. But does Leafa come clean? Roll a d6. A low roll means he comes clean. A high roll means he does something else.
Who should roll?
Oh, that's no. I'll let Flamma. Okay, roll. With your roll or 2, eventually he does come clean. He tells you and the family that the reason he did it was that his biological father was also a warrior. He told him a story about a descendant named Erikor, and Leafa also reveals his love for Katla, saying that he believed he was destined for glory and riches, but he didn't own a coin to his name, so his hope was to take the sword and use it for to obtain glory and be able to pay for a life as a warrior with his woman by his side, which makes Katla blush very much and makes Bjorg just do the, that ain't gonna happen, Leafa. But she's welcomes him into the family, and the only scorn, the only wrath he gets is that he is confined to his room and also stripped of some privileges. But they thank you, Flamma, for helping encourage Leafa to tell the truth and not have this on his mind and something that would weigh him down in future years. Well done. What about you, Fiona? Fiona and Torgrim.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Fiona and Torgrim would like to return to the family. They feel a bit proud as Fiona feels like her actions actually help to resolve the issue, but she is very interested in one of the extended family members. She thanks him for once again for helping her out of the main house, and
Yep.
she is and she's interested in his background. So did Fiona use her Miss Orquer's trump card this time when I wasn't around?
No, you have not used that.
No.
He's been looking at you the whole time. Ulfa seems to have always been looking at you this whole adventure, you've noticed.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, yes, I am the Fiona, the Miss Awkward. And she just smiled. Do you want an autograph?
He gushes.
And she just hopes he ready and well.
You use your goal achievement on Ulfa. He blushes and he says, "In the dire times of the farmstead, I thought it was you. I'm a passionate viewer of the Miss Orcverse contest, but I wasn't sure if it was the right place, given our predicament, to bear witness my not devotion, but my infatuation with you, Fiona. Please." And he gives you, he reveals to you that he actually used to be, he's not proud of it, he used to be a bandit. And this is something he regrets, as he caused a lot of misery to other people, but he is a warrior by trade. Bjorg and her family let him in and took him as one of his own, so he's always been indebted to looking after them and deciding to be like a farmhand for them. But he gets out a sword that he used to have as a bandit that he swore never to draw again. You know, he doesn't want to return to his bandit ways, but he brings you some like paint and asks you to write a message for him on his blade. What do you wish to write for him?
Fiona is extremely flattered, and she decides to write the following on the sword. She is trying to write it in the most calligraphic way she can, and she uses not the paint, but she uses her own lipstick to do it, because she feels it would give it a more person. So she writes on the sword, to offer a brave farmer with good heart, may you never have to hold the sword again. Fiona, the Miss Orc.
He says, "I would treasure this forever. Please take this as a gift of my appreciation, that you may perhaps use this as an adventurer moving forward." And he opens up a board in his room, hidden. He takes out a coin pouch. He says, "Please take this. I have no need of this. This was money I took from the less than fortunate." And it is a bag of silver, 60 silver coins. He was going to use it for himself in another life, but now he's happy here with the Findeuters. So you can roll 6 dice, essentially a turn order roll, and that's how many silver pieces he has taken from the unfortunate.
Okay, give me a second. These are D6?
Yep, 6 dice. A turn order roll.
There you go.
23 silver pieces taken from a life of crime. He gives that to you to use for better purposes as a hero. So you can add that to your inventory as well. And last but not least, Snotgard, to take us out to finish this session.
First of all, Snotgard will give 5 gold pieces to Flamma for her awesome medical help.
Wow.
Because,
okay.
you know, Snotgard is mercenary and only thing he can understand is gold. So, Flammable, you can add 5 gold pieces. And
well done.
Just, yep.
Great teamwork. Okay.
I think it's very honest. Yes. And then after this adventure, he will go, first of all, to train. Because he very disappointed in himself. He thought of himself as of a very sturdy goblin. And probably he will go to adventure to find some artificer or just a good armor smith to find better armor. He need more hit points.
You can actually, there is heavier armor that gives you instead of +1, it gives you +2. But the only problem with the heavier armor, it makes you gives you a penalty for moving, like climbing, swimming, and also a penalty to dodge. So it adds stamina, but it makes you easier to hit. So it's, I don't know if that's worth it, but we can look at something in between, things that can improve that through equipment or otherwise. But with that, we've hit our mark. So I want to thank everyone for watching and thank all my players for a wonderful session. You did really well to resolve that and find the sword. It could have been pretty bleak if you just decided to take on these enemies in like Mortal Kombat. So until next time, goodbye everyone and happy adventuring. I'll see you on the next one.
See ya. Thank you for game.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Come on.